Welcome to the From the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's a Twitter-like whore, an Instagram thirst trap, and your grandma's guilty pleasure, Beef Loaf. A West Coast attitude in a decidedly Midwest body, My Sock Summer. And your host, he's sharing obscure music thoughts to give you time to hit the bathroom, Terezi E.
Thank you, Cornsey. Welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, beer, and bullshit. And remember the drinking rules. If Beef Loaf says allegedly, or that he wrote a blog about that, you drink.
It's coming, baby.
If My Sock Summer doesn't know a player or mentions his time on the West Coast, you drink. And if I swear or say, here's the thing, you drink. Fellas, speaking of drinking, what are you drinking? Beef, what are you drinking?
You know what, boys? No free ads, but I'm drinking a little tequila, a little añejo tonight.
Oh,
Staying away from the beer, man. I think it's I perform a little bit better with the tequila, so we're gonna go with that today. I do got a little sidecar of some squirt.
There we go.
Some diet squirt, just in case I get a little verklempt if we talk about something sentimental during the show.
I love it. I love the squirt. It's a great mixer. It's an underrated mixer, man. My Sock Summer, what are you drinking, buddy?
Loaf, I have no stepbrothers talk planned, so you probably won't cry tonight.
I won't be bawling.
He wore the glasses just in case, though.
I did,
so,
yeah, just in case I did.
You guys know that I've been on my bourbon whiskey, journey, right? And one of the first bottles that is, I think it's only around my house because COVID happened, was this Kirkland small batch whiskey bottle. And I remember having this a while ago and being like, oh, God damn, how does somebody even drink this? It's like 103 proof. It's a mess, right? So I have since, cultured my palate. I have grown my palate. And so I'm having it tonight. It's still straight fire, but I can taste the nuances, and I know as the water melts, it will be better. So I'm starting off tonight with the Kirkland Premium Small Batch Bourbon. And then I'm going to probably move into the small batch Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, which is a Kirkland brand.
Also Kirkland.
It's a Kirkland bourbon night tonight. As some of the people have told me, rarity and price do not dictate how a bourbon tastes. It can be good if it's from some bullshit company like Kirkland, or it could be good if it's some like a real distillery,
That's true. And My Sock Summer, most of the bourbon in the country is made at the same place.
That's what I've heard. Yeah. It's like batteries,
Hey, Teresa, I got a quick question for you before we get on to your drinking. I don't know about you, but I'm very pro bourbon My Sock Summer. I like this development in his life. I'm a big fan of this, actually. Even though I'm not a bourbon guy, I kind of like the growth here. I'm enjoying this,
I also like that it has this kind of range of like, he's drinking so slowly it doesn't really affect him at all, to like he can't speak English.
Yes.
Like
yes, falls off.
So it keeps me on my toes, and so I always appreciate that.
Wow. Wonderful. So Treasy, what are you drinking, baby?
Yeah, speaking of being on my toes, so I'm drinking some of these White Sox ales that we still have.
Man,
maybe nice.
The getting down to the last of them. But here's the thing. These are a little old. And it's been hit or miss in this where they just kind of like explode. So I've had these the past few podcasts, and I've only had it for the first one because I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to mess around with this just in case it like just fizzes all over the place. Not tonight, fellas. We're in the danger zone. All right? I could be a mess in the middle of this one. So we're going to see what happens.
I look forward to this. I like this sort of nuance to the show.
I'm running the show, so I can't just get up and leave. So I'll just be soaking wet at some point if this happens.
So Carmen posted about the Woodford. That's what I drank last episode. Remember when I had that bottle of Woodford that was the size of my head? That's from Costco. I know it's amazing. But that's where I got that and the double oaked. Yeah, I love Woodford. Woodford is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, a lot of it is just marketing, right? It's just packaging, marketing, kind of that.
It's also how they age it and the barrels they use and all these. Of course. So there's like a lot of the bourbon itself is made only in a few places. Like there's very few that like do it end to end. But like you'll have like, okay, I'm gonna get all this. Like basically, I get all this rye from this company. So for example, there was an overage a few years back, and the people over at CH, down the street from me. Yeah, they bought up some of that, and that's why they had that Jepson's bourbon for a while. I think they might still have it, but it was all from this batch of an overage from one of these mass producers, and so they barreled it. They barreled it for the 4 years or whatever you have to do, and then they released it under their brand. So it was pretty much just that place's bourbon, aged by CH, and then marketed as Jepson's. So it's exactly what you're saying, Beef. It's how you do it and then how you market it.
Yeah. Right, exactly. No, that's
so. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, Beef. How you doing tonight, man?
As the late great comedian George Carlin would usually say, I am moderately neato right now. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm heading on to vacation. I've been working my ass off at work. Teresa, you and I go through fits and starts at work where we're working really hard and then we're still just working kind of hard, but not really hard. I've been on a fit where I've been working really hard for a while, so I'm really looking forward to this vacation. So this morning, I'm like, okay, last day, I'm going to hop on the Twitter machine, and I like to participate in random stuff that's going on out there. And someone tweeted out, and there's been a lot of these lately, about a take that's going to get you canceled over something, And so this one today was, we're canceling each other over Chicago takes. Post your cancelable Chicago takes. I don't think I have a lot of Chicago takes, but one that I do have, and I tweeted out there, I said, the Italian beef sandwich is meh. I'll eat it, but it never excites. And the amount of responses I got for this, you thought I would have shot the Pope or something like that. It was amazing how many people were coming at me with this thing.
Plus, the thing about it is, Beef, and especially because your name's Beef, I'm sure you got a little bit extra. But one of the things you said, though, was that the combo is much better. So you're not like anti-Italian beef.
What I'm saying
you
is
just want a sausage in there.
I want I tweeted, someone responded, a very good response. They said because it was Josh was replying to it, Josh Nelson saying he agreed. And someone's like, this is just the snobbery of people who live really close to Riccobenni's. And I was thinking, you know what? That might be it. Because when I look at Riccobenni's menu, I'm like, that's the 7th best sandwich on this menu.
Oh, no.
So I'm never going to order this. I'm never getting to the beef there.
I go to that beef more often than...
It's a good beef, too.
It's a really good beef.
It's a good
really good beef.
In general, though, I'm just not a straight-up beef guy. I just don't get into it. And to me, for it to be
You're ruining your name. You're ruining your name.
That's what Summer and George said. He said it's amazing that a man with a beef name is getting clobbered right now over a beef take.
You gotta be combo loaf. That's good. Combo loaf is funny.
Yeah, combo loaf. Exactly.
He's coming with some great fire ideas, dude.
I mean, the comments are lit up about the combo. And the combo is where the key, but it's the sausage. The sausage making. And then everyone's telling me, no. You just got to have it dipped properly. Okay, let me get this straight. The key to the sandwich is having the soggiest fucking piece of bread you've ever seen in your life. All right, then I know I'm right about this take.
I don't agree with that. But Beef, I got to ask, have you ever eaten a double combo?
I have not, but I've eaten the King combo at Riccobenni's, which has like 4 sausages in it. It's ridiculous.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, it's humongous. Yeah. And it's like it has it's ridiculous.
Because the double combo is only 2 sausages. You had 4 in yours.
I don't know if it's 2 extra long ones, but like it's like 2 full sandwiches, the king size.
Goodness.
So it's like almost like 4. Maybe it's just 2 real long 2 big Italian sausages. Remember? It's wonderful.
Bigger than the Italians.
Lori Lightfoot was in there.
That's called the Lori now. Not even a King combo anymore. It's called the Lightfoot combo. No, the one time that I got the King combo over there at the Riccobenni's, it was the night the only time we've ever edited the 108 podcast was we had a meeting with Goose Island and we went there. And I bought a pack of cigarettes and a King combo, and I only ate half of that sandwich. I couldn't eat the whole thing. That's how big it is. And I was fat MSS back then. It wasn't even slight MSS. So, plus I was all excited. And I
pack of smokes and a double combo. I'm praying for your plumber, man. I'm praying for your plumber. My Sucks Summer, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing great, but I have a serious fucking bone to pick with you two. So we have a group chat.
I almost wanted to mute him.
Talk about all sorts of stuff.
Let's go White Sox.
Tons of, like, we talk different stuff, whatever. I fucking don't really put in a lot of baseball takes, and I get pigeonholed a lot of the times as the guy that doesn't really know much about baseball. And I understand that. I don't write blogs about numbers.
You pigeonhole yourself in a way.
Yeah, I hurt myself, right?
Yeah.
And we've talked like, hey, you need to reach out, you need to like look into these things, you need to like discuss this stuff. And I'm like, yeah. So I did that this week, and I posted a take in our chat about Micker Adolfo, and I was like, I said it, and it was fucking crickets from you two. Neither one of you responded to it. Neither one of you liked it. Neither one of you put a fucking emoji.
You sure you did you send it? Like I
did. This. And this is what it was. Here, this is what I said. I said, guys, the craziest thing about this Micker Adolfo situation is the Sox will rush any player up to the majors. They will put a guy in a position where he's not supposed to play. They will do anything they can to get that guy to the majors fast enough, but yet they refuse to do that with Adolfo. And I go, that speaks volumes to me. Like, because everyone's like, oh, his name is talking. They've been talking.
Yeah, you're right. I did not see that.
So
he told me in the car when we were going for our walk today, and I said, that is a great take. I totally agree with it. I think what happened, Treasy, is you and I were both in awe of the genius, and we just could not respond. It was like Dr. James Carville when he's debating Frank the Take, and he's like, I have no response. That was perfect. That's what I think happened in that take in our group chat. Had to be, right?
And yeah, I mean, I asked Loaf too. I go, is this so much of a common take that it's just stupid? And he goes, no, it's not really that common of a take. And I was like, okay, all right, well, and then but it's like, it just reminds me, all these back days, it's never good enough. Then you're good enough, and then nobody even recognizes the genius of your fucking comment.
You know what? I will recognize it right now, MSS. Great job.
Goddamn perfect.
No, I was really impressed with myself at that. I was just thinking it through, and I'm like, I wonder if this is just such a common take that they're like, they don't even fucking give a shit. And then when I talked to Loaf this morning, he's like, nope.
I like it. I thought it was a good idea. That's a good take.
I've spent most of my week bodying Chorizo about his stupid bet on the Pirates, and then the Pirates got absolutely clobbered today, 9-0.
You didn't watch it. It was a lot closer than you thought.
It was a real grudge match.
Oh my God. I was watching it. So first of all, Brian Reynolds has an incredible mustache. But I'm watching the game, and like I turned for a minute, and then I like turned back, and Brian Hayes is walking off the field. And I'm like, what the fuck? Guy just signed a contract. The craziest thing is that contract is not in effect.
It was pending, right?
Pending a physical.
Yeah.
So like I'm hoping that he's okay, because that would be just so fucked.
Yeah, that'd be some bullshit.
But yeah, I'm just like I'm like an inning and a half into it, and I was like, they're gonna lose 125 games.
It's early.
Cash out. Go cash out right now.
It's early.
So you have to let you cash out, Treasy. No, have conviction.
Dear points bet. I give up.
Hey, Treasy, how are you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I as you guys know, I worked last weekend, so please clap. But I was working on the weekend, and so I'm talking to one of my buddies over in Slovakia in our European office. Yeah. And we're just talking about, like regional liquors, and he's like, oh, there's this stuff. I love this. It's so tasty, so delicious. It's one of my favorite drinks. And I was like, oh, let me know what it is. And he sends me a link to it, and it's rum. So I was like, oh, I don't think and it's from Austria. I don't think like Austria when I think great rum.
Yeah, no, me either.
So I looked it up, and here's the bottle. So this is the bottle, and you see that the 160 on there.
Is that the proof?
That's the proof. So it's 160 proof rum, and you can't really read it at the top here, but it says caution flammable.
Man.
Now what's funny is like he introduced it as this is so delicious. So I am intrigued, and I was like, oh man, and when's the next time I'm going to be out there, right? Because no one's traveling internationally now.
Right.
Yeah.
They sell this shit here. So I'm going to get a bottle of this. We're going to try it out. We're going to try it out, Beef. I know you'd be it.
I know, but you know what's going to happen to me, and I'm going to need way less of this rum than any other rum to get to the point.
Oh yeah, like this isn't like a pregame bit. This is like we're gonna have.
Once I had a few, then you just put me in Morton's crate. Then I just
exactly.
That's what
just shove you in there.
The last time you drank rum, you were speaking in tongues at Shinnick's. So I don't like
Gas
that.
Money Bob's right. Summer George Woodbong, and I agree.
Oh my
I realize
God!
that our entire banter right now, we're just gonna become bootleggers after the 108 thing doesn't work anymore. We're gonna be those guys to make the moonshine. That's gonna be us going forward.
I would love to do that.
Hot tub gin.
We got the hot tub already.
Please keep that away from Wally. That's all I ask. I do not.
Yeah, it's spiced rum. It's not the kind he likes.
Okay.
Oh,
it's not
true.
the kind he likes.
Brown? Is it brown liquor?
It's brown liquor.
Like brown,
it's definitely brown.
All right, he won't.
But yeah, so yeah, the 160 has to happen. It has to happen on a day when we don't have to do anything for a few days. But we'll make it happen. I'm gonna go find a bottle of this.
Wow.
People in the comments are buying it already.
I like Total Wine.
I love it, man. Report back. I mean, report back the next day. I want to know the aftermath.
Is Total Wine around here though? That's like
I don't know.
That's like a West Coast thing. Yeah, it's like a Binny's.
Sure.
Total Wines is like a Binny's.
Okay.
That's where I used to go to get booze then you could get the Goose Island Bourbon counties there too. Apparently.
Oh, nice.
I didn't realize you used to live on the West Coast, but
yeah, I
heard about that. I drank for it. I don't know if you guys drank.
That's another thing. I don't want to go too much further on this, but like you always tell me that none of my bits work. That's a bit that works. Like a lot of people. People do bring that.
I tell you, none of your bits work. No.
Yeah,
So choice stinks, but most of your bits work fine.
You said you don't have any bits that work the other day. It was really mean.
That was a joke, though.
The
So Choice one is really stupid, though. I hope you bring it back again so I can body you for it. I mean,
I like SPF is just like, fuck the Cubs. Fuck Cub fans. Yeah, that's another good bit that I do. Yeah.
Speaking of probably your favorite and best bit, why don't you pay some bills?
Let's do it. Spring is right around the corner, and with the warming weather comes fresh starts, new beginnings, and motherfucking baseball. Why not show up in Lot B with a brand new Mazda CX-50? According to those experts over at Road and Track, the 2023 Mazda CX-50 is better than the Subaru Outback. Say what? And why is that? Plenty of reason, but let's focus on a few. First, they kept it old school. While people are forced into cars and SUVs with tons of graphic interfaces, Mazda has stuck with their throwback interior motifs. Their interior looks like the inside of an SUV, not like an office cubicle. Straightforward controls and displays that keep the driver's eyes up and focused on the road. It's almost like Mazda still believes in driving. The mechanical substance is old school too. It's not a hybrid, not all electric. It has but one conventional 12-volt battery that has the important duty of starting either one of the available 4-cylinder internal combustion engines, one turbocharged, one breathing in atmosphere unassisted. Curious and want to know more? Check out the all-new Mazda CX-50 on their website, www.mazdaoforlandpark.com. Or maybe you're looking for something different. They have all sorts of options available. Give them a follow on Twitter @ZoomZoomNation, as they are known to give away tickets and parking for Sox games. And remember, as always, $500 off for Sox fans. SPF, fuck them Cub fans. Mazda of Orland Park, home of the Zoom Zoom Nation. 8910 West 159th Street, Orland Park. 708-444-3200. Zoom Zoom.
Oh, I love it. Now I think it's a little time for some baseball talk, fellas. You guys ready for some baseball talk?
Yes.
Let's do it, baby. Can't wait.
Right, baby. Let's get into it.
MSS says it's a little too heavy of baseball talk today. I said, motherfucker, it's going to be opening day.
It is opening day. I mean, today is opening day.
Today is the opening day, not for the Sox.
I was just stating that it was going to be. I didn't say I didn't like it. Oh, fuck you. I was gonna I wanted to get that picture of the Simpsons when they were playing baseball. Remember the song "They Talking Baseball"? I wanted one that said "Talking Baseball." Yeah, no, not
that one right there.
I wanted that, but I can't find a good resolution one like for a new baseball talk for the 2022 season. Haven't found it. I'm working on it though, guys. Don't worry.
So the first thing I want to talk about tonight is something I apologized about the other day. Is Rick Hahn finally was able to trade Craig Kimbrell. He got AJ Pollock for this. I thought, man, that's above and beyond what I thought he could have got. I still think probably better allocation of the money was to just dump Kimbrell after the season and then use that money to get an outfielder. He didn't do it, but I think he did kind of shoot the moon on what he could get for Kimbrell. So I appreciate that. But Beef, I got to use one of your memes because this trade is White Sox way. Basically, stay healthy.
Yes. Absolutely.
Beef, what do you think, man? What do you think about this trade?
Well, first things first, like I was trying to like marinate and understand the trade and like really get my thoughts together. I'd put a tweet out there just saying like the guy's only played like 20 innings in right field his entire career, and we're kind of searching for right fielder. And people came out of the woodwork to defend AJ Pollock like he was Mark fucking Burley or some shit like that. It's like, dude, I'm just stating a fact. I don't even give an opinion on this. And it did like a decent sized 108 tourney poll in impressions. It was hilarious. And I'm like, I didn't even say anything yet. I'm trying to encapsulate this. And the bottom line is, I agree with you, Treasy. Hahn did about as good as you can do in the spot he was to get this.
But he put himself in that spot.
He painted himself in that corner. And it's not without warts, this kind of deal here. And I actually make it akin to a Kenny Williams move, an old school Kenny Williams move. And I compared it to the Andrew Jones. He went out and got Andrew Jones, kind of a similar player to Pollock. I mean, Jones was a better all-around player, but he was on the downside. He was not a great center fielder anymore. Pollock isn't either, but could still hit. Brought him into 2010 White Sox. He had like a 827 or something OPS. Had a real nice, just a nice part-time year. 19 home runs, like 320 plate appearances with the Sox. And I was like, this feels like a Kenny Williams room where you're out of options here. You got to take a risk. So we're going to risk it on this guy. He's probably got some high upside. He also has some downside. As has been mentioned ad nauseum out there, he is extremely injury prone. But a couple things in particular in his skill set that are really going to help the White Sox. Number one is the fact that he hits right-handed pitching. So even though he's a right-handed hitter, he's absolutely good against right-handed pitching. His career splits are pretty even. So it fills in for the fact that everyone wanted Conforto because Conforto will kill righties. This guy hits righties well, okay? Number two is he doesn't hit a lot of ground balls. This is a very ground ball hitting team, and you'll hear like in the middle of the season, if they go into a slump and they're hitting a fucking million ground balls, you'll hear us talking about it. You hear every podcast talking about too many fucking ground balls. Abreu hit more fly balls, less ground balls. You're going to hear all that shit in the middle of the year. He kind of solves that. He had sub 40% ground ball percentages the last couple of years. League average is like 45%, so he's even better than that. And the last thing that, in my personal opinion, he adds is some flexibility, right? He can move around the outfield spots. He can still fake center. He can definitely play a good left field, which is what he's been doing with the Dodgers. And he'll be absolutely fine in right field. It just gives the Sox kind of a little more options out there is what they were doing. Instead of when we were laughing last year, I remember Treasy when we got moved around a little bit and we end up in like 104 for one of our ticket packages and Danny Mendick is playing fucking right field. And it's like,
unreal.
What the hell are we doing here, right? At least we're going to have legitimate outfielders for the most part in the outfield spots.
Well, so Beef, that's one thing I wanted to comment on there, right? Because the right field thing, it's true. He has not played much right field, but the reason he's not played much right field, and obviously he was a center fielder for a while, so like why would you put him in right field? But it's the arm. He doesn't have much of an arm, and if you've seen him play in spring training, you've realized that already. Who cares? Honestly, exactly. How many guys are you trying to throw out anyways? How many guys went first to third on everyone we've had for the last 10 years? Right. It is such a major improvement over guys that can't even get to the fucking ball. Like he's going to catch on the fly like a big boy, way more balls than any of the guys that have been playing right field for the past couple of years. And so, like, the amount of outs that he's going to create with that, as opposed to the amount that he won't get because of his kind of lower end arm, I don't give a shit. Like, I like we watched Josh Naylor out there throw the ball directly into the ground, and that guy's bat kept him out there. Pollock's bat plus his defense is going to keep him out there. He just needs to stay healthy. And I'm just going to say it right now. I'm just going to say this right now. If you catch me during the season staring at AJ Pollock's ass, it is only because I'm watching to make sure everything stays together. I want those hammies and glutes just to stay in place and not tear off and fall apart. Like that's the only reason I'm looking, guys. Summer, what do you think about this movie?
Listen, I'm gonna stick with my theory, Steven, about Daniel Polka. He was in the flux with the girlfriend. They were gonna get married. He just couldn't get it together. That's what was happening that year. They asked him to do too much. They should have just said, listen, you like to pound balls, go pound balls. Don't worry about getting the field. We'll put somebody else in there. We're rebuilding. We don't need you to prove your worth. Okay, just hit the shit out of baseballs. Now, here's a couple things, and I'm glad you guys didn't talk about this because I wouldn't have anything else to talk about. I looked at the Baseball Reference and I looked at the season predictions, or what do they call them? Not predictions, but the
projections.
Projections. Not predictions, projections.
It's the same thing.
They have
projections is a fancy word for predictions. You had it right, Mike.
So they have predicted that AJ is going to have a career year in home runs this year with 22. So he has never hit anywhere close. I mean, he's hit 20, but he's going to hit 2 more than he's ever hit as he's declining in age here on the South Side. So best be ready. Second, he also had 384 plate appearances last year, which would be 6th best on the White Sox. You know who that's behind?
Larry Garcia
and Andrew Vaughn. Okay? Like, I mean, if you want to see some straight comedy, go look at bats from last year and look at who's up there still. Like, you have Yerman Mercedes over a lot of people still, and he wasn't there after 2 months.
No, exactly.
It's fucking insane.
He was retired temporarily, like in July.
I was like looking at these numbers going, oh my God. And then I'm like, Danny Mendick had 180 plate appearances. You're like, what the fuck? I don't remember him after June. So like I don't, it's just a crazy thing. So if you wanted some comedy, go look at the plate appearances in 2021. Now, also, if he did what he did last year, he had 69 RBIs. Now, folks, you're all saying, oh, that's not that much. 69 is a great number, first off, but other than that, it's also the second amount of RBIs on our fucking team last year. That's fucking insane. Again, like that beats everybody except for the fucking RBI machine who got disrespected today on White Sox Twitter, Jose Abreu. You sons of bitches. And I'm going to yell at you later about that too, if I remember, because I'm drinking really good shit.
Now, I love it, man. I love the fire.
These are the two. That was like the 2 big things that I had to say. And it also, my God, we didn't need Kimbrel. We know that. Like, it didn't work well. It looked awful. He looked awful in spring training. Like, he's lucky he got anything. Somebody didn't just be like, yo, we'll take him. And, here's Blake Rutherford back. We just cleared him on waivers. Like, there's some bullshit like that. So, this is a great move. Yeah. It could end up being very good. Yes, he could get hurt. Oh, my God. But you know what? Even if he gets hurt, with the projections and what he's done hurt, is still top fucking 10 on our squad.
Yes, great point, MSS. Terrific point here, because you're right. He doesn't have to play the whole year to be well worth the trade, well worth being on the team. And you bring up his production from last year, which is tremendous, would have been great on this team and had less plate appearances than a lot of these guys. So you realize, even though he's a guy, maybe you'd only think the guy's going to get 100 games or something because, like Treasy's saying, everything tightens up on him. He's got issues. Don't matter. He's going to be productive more than likely, and it's going to be super useful for the squad for sure.
If he's looking good and he's healthy in like late August, and we got the division in hand, wrap that motherfucker up in bubble wrap like a bobblehead, and just hold on to him till the playoffs, and then unbox him. And listen, My Sock Summer, you're gonna do the unboxing.
Oh yeah, I'll do it live on YouTube. The other thing though too, I mean, we know a lot of good places to go get rubbed down at. I mean, I know guys that know guys, so
allegedly.
We can make sure he doesn't.
Don't say we. I don't know a lot of places.
I don't know either, but I drive by him all the time.
Allegedly, just drive by.
No close to maybe in the vicinity.
You and Bob Kraft, you just drive by those places, no problem, no big deal.
Bob Kraft drives me by with him. Little known relationship that we have.
So, not to dampen the mood, but we got to talk about something else here. We got to talk about some injuries. So the White Sox have sustained some injuries in the past few weeks, and so there's three of them. In My Sock Summer, I'm going to ask you this question: which of these hurts the most? Crochet, Lynn, or Moncada?
Okay, I've thought about this a lot, and I in the grand scheme of things, Lance Lynn missing potentially 4 weeks, which could probably at most it's 2 months.
Probably about 2 months. Yeah.
Okay, that's 8 starts potentially. Oh man, now that's because I was going into it thinking 4 weeks, 4 starts, and I'm like, okay. So yeah, he's probably going. You're probably right. You're probably right. It's between him and Moncada, obviously, because Crochet. I wasn't looking at Crochet to make some big jump this year, like right. I just wasn't looking at that.
I think it's Crochet.
I don't think.
I honestly think it's Crochet.
Wow.
And here's why I think it's Crochet. So Crochet was excellent last year. I thought he had a great year.
Yeah, he did. I would agree with
it. It is very tough to replace that, and you need that a few times a week. Like you like at least twice a week, you'll want that. Lynn, I think with Lynn, because it's the beginning of the season. If this happened late in the season, it'd be fucking a catastrophe. But because it's early in the season, you're going to get a benefit of a few things. One of which is days off, which allows you to skip guys. So you don't even have to use that 5th starter, although we don't have 5, to get through.
Or 4.
So you can hide guys a little bit more, and you can kind of play over the games that he is missing. Johnny Cueto being added is helpful to that. Like he's going to get he's going to pepper a couple Cueto starts in there that are going to be probably mediocre to a little bit below average, and it's going to be fine. And then you'll get him back as you're getting into the season a little bit more. And then you're playing every day. You got double headers and all that shit. So I think you can kind of hide that. The Moncada injury, I don't know how long it's going to last. So if it's really just 3 weeks and he's back and he's healthy, that's fine. But like those oblique injuries, man, they last forever for some guys. Like their whole season gets fucked up. So like that's what I'm a little bit more worried about. I'm glad that they said you're not playing through this, because if you play through this, you're gonna be messed up all year. So, but I think it's Crochet. I think Crochet is gonna be is gonna hurt you the most, and I think we're gonna feel it the most. Like I think we're looking at it right now as we lost a starting pitcher, and that's obviously fucked.
Yeah.
Or we're missing our third baseman, and all of us here are Moncada fans. We think he's really good. But day in and day out, like there's going to be moments where we're like, man, I would love to have Crochet right now for this situation.
Treasy, let me ask you a couple questions about the Crochet situation, because to me it's the most fascinating. I agree with MSS. I think losing Lynn for that period of time is the most important in the grand scheme of things, mostly because of his total value and how much the Sox leaned on those starting pitchers last year. We're going to realize real quick when we get into this year how good we had it last year when they were so damn good. And we kind of knew it, but it's not going to hit us in the face until this actually starts happening. And you're going to watch them lose some games like 7-6, and you're going to be like, motherfucker, last year we would have won this game, you know? But a couple questions for you on the Crochet thing. What do you think TLR's option is going to be to fill this in? You think he's going to go all Jimmy Cordero on Jose Ruiz, or what do you think is going to be the strategy to cover over Crochet? Because you're right, he was excellent last year, and they're going to need some people in those middle innings. He wasn't pitching the back; he was sort of pitching this 5, 6, 7 innings there.
I feel like he's going to be a lot more situational with this. I think that it's going to be like a different guy each time, which increases the variance so much. And that's why it's worrisome to me, right? I think to start, he's going to go to Graveman a lot.
Like kind of earlier in games and kind of stretch him a little bit, or
right. He's going to hit him a lot, but like I'm not a big Kendall Graveman guy. And right. And Kendall Graveman suffers from the same problem that Aaron Bummer has, which is he throws a lot of ground balls. And adding Josh Harrison, excellent. That's going to be helpful.
That helps, yeah.
Berger being there instead of Moncada, not good, right? And so like, helpful, no. So there's concern there that Graveman could come out of the gates not great, and so I see him going to him probably more. I don't know what their thoughts on Kyle Crick are. Like he's a guy that could be someone they go to a lot, and then I also don't know how they're going to use Reynaldo Lopez. Right, Lopez could be a guy that he tries to replace Crochet with. That he goes, this is a starting pitching arm, high velocity. I'm going to put him in for these spots and try and strike guys out.
Right.
And the Velasquez, it sounded like Velasquez getting the start. Makes me think that more about Lopez. So I think Graveman's his first go-to. I think he's going to say, like, we spent the money on this guy. This guy's basically supposed to be a closer. I'm going to use him how I wanted to use Kimbrel and see how that goes. Mm-hmm. But if that doesn't work out right away, I think Lopez might be where you go.
That's fair enough. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of this Crick love. So, Stephen Beef, Crick is my guy. I was laughing because there are a lot of people who are Crick guys. And I think it's because James Fegan was touting Crick. And it's like, I put a tweet out today. I'm like, this is 80% of White Sox fans offseason is just hoping that bums become good pitchers. And it's like Crick, Velasquez, Keuchel. Crick was free out there. So I get people that really like him a lot, but he was as free as Velasquez was. So let's not get too excited. Let's not get over our skis about how good a guy is. Right. Maybe he will be. Maybe Katz whispered to him and did it, but they're about the same fodder. They're waiver wire material, both of them.
And to further prove my point about Adolfo, here they are picking a guy that nobody else wants, and we're like, yeah, sure, go on up there, let's see what happens. But yet, don't have that same type of confidence in him to go out and do something. I don't know, Treasy. I think you made some good points, kind of. But I still think like your relief staff has to be in a position to win when they get there, and if they're not through bad starting pitching. I think that's where we might get fucked because we could get fucked down way bad. But we hopefully this year with all the bats, like if the bats are hitting, if the bats are hitting, we're gonna win every game. I mean that's my Vinny Parise take. Okay, if the bats are hitting, we're gonna win. If we're scoring runs, we're gonna win. Hashtag Vinny Parise. Hashtag basic bitch. I'm sorry, Vinny. I really like that.
Damn, man.
No, he's not.
I'd swipe.
The Sox could be team ball, go far, team go far. I mean, they really could be. They could have everyone in the entire lineup except for the Harrison Garcia combo there hitting 20 homers. It would not shock you.
If that hits, I mean, it don't matter, right? And neither one of those pitching things matters. And neither does Moncada being out because he, stayed too long at Hooters in Maryville. Now, I would just wonder,
allegedly.
You're saying who's going to pop up. One guy that you guys, neither one of you mentioned, who was having great success by the end of the year last year is Reynaldo Lopez. Well, even so much so that Ken W.O. ridiculous. Oh, you just brought him up?
He did for a while. Treasy's not sure where they're going to use him at because they've made it kind of clear. I mean, they haven't explicitly said it, but they made it kind of clear that Velasquez is going to get the home opener start. I mean, that's reading between the lines. I think that's what it is. So it's like they're kind of just biding their time with Lopez, and maybe he's the Crochet replacement, not a lefty.
So MSS, what I was saying was I think they're going to go to Graveman first, but if Graveman doesn't work out, I think Lopez is the next guy up in that where they're going to go the ground balls aren't working. Strike everybody out. That's what the directive's going to be.
I think he's going to have a year. I think Graylo's going to have a year. Now I probably just jinxed him. Now he's fucked, and I'm sorry. But you look good at the end of last year. He's settling into a spot, And so I'm just I'm hopeful, and I'm sorry I wasn't listening very well. I was looking.
It's quite all right. I appreciate you nonetheless.
Working out my busting Vinny's chops on thing. So I'm sorry.
I am taking back this gold star.
It's absolutely gone. One more question on Crochet, and I would love to hear both of your opinions. So the injury, so they've kept him in the bullpen. They never became a starter. He's going to miss a season with TJ. What do you think about? Are there any aspirations to start him anymore, or do you think he's just a relief guy now, and that ship has sailed with this last injury? That it's just he's going to be too long in the tooth to turn it around and try to start him.
So I think most people I've heard talk about this, who know a lot about baseball, have said that they think that this kind of seals the deal that he's going to be a reliever forever. So fuck that. I don't believe it. So this is actually a bit opportunistic for the Sox, right? Because they're going to have to go this entire season without him.
Right.
They're going to go into next season without him. Like, he's not going to be there at the start of the season.
Right.
And you're going to want to rehab him as long as possible in AAA. Why not stretch him out?
Yeah.
Why not try to make him a starter? See if it's there when you're trying to rehab him. And if it's looking good, then say, this guy might not even pitch this season, right? Because we think we have a starting pitcher, and maybe we bring him up way at the end of the season, have him do a couple starts, and if he's good to go, then man, he could do whatever in the playoffs, whatever we need him to do. So I think you can use it that way and try that. You have to fill in around him though. And so that's the problem that they're going to have, right? It's going to be expensive for this experiment.
Yes.
But he's your number one pick that year.
Right.
Spend some money on it.
Right.
Figure it out.
I like this and I hate this. And the reason I hate it is because I can already hear it. We have Crochet, who's going to be our starting pitcher. We don't need to re-sign Giolito. Like, we don't need to pick him up.
No,
that's what we're going to hear. And you know
surely
what?
not what I'm saying.
I'm going to hear your best buddy now, that since you apologized to him, Rick Hahn, say, my man Chirizi sold me on this on one night right before the Sox home opener before opening day in 2022. And I can't wait to kick you in the nuts in 4 years.
If that happens, Rick Hahn owes me an apology.
It's not sunny in my studio right now. I'm just worried that I might break down and cry right in the middle of the show. So I just keep my glasses on.
So future's too bright. You got to wear shades, bro. That's what it comes down to.
I want to talk about something though with Moncada, because Moncada goes down. Mm-hmm. He's out for a few weeks.
Yep.
And I mean, like, the internet goes off about how soft he is and how he doesn't play and all these things. So I want to ask you guys a question.
Yep.
And be honest with whatever you think the number might be. What percentage of games has Yoan Moncada played over the past 4 years?
Oh, it's a lot. I mean, he was real durable in the year he had COVID. He was real durable last year. In the year he was really good, he missed a couple weeks. I'll say 85% of the games, 90% of the games, something like that.
I was going to say it's over 90%. I'm going to say 91%.
Yeah, it's 87.5% of the game. He went 144 out of 162 last year, 52 out of 60 the previous year, 130 the good year, 132 out of 161. They didn't play all the games that year. Right. And then 149 out of 162. So that's the last 4 years.
Soft.
Yeah, I mean, like,
pretty durable. Yeah.
He missed games in between a lot of starts. Like, he'd be like, I'm sore, I'm not going to play, and all these things. But, like, that is a lot of games to play and then be considered soft as hell.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Like, I don't get it. Like, I mean, I get it. He's a beautiful man. You get impressions about him, but, like,
it's jealousy, baby. It's jealousy.
He's been out there. He's been out there a lot. He's been out there a lot more than a lot of other guys.
There's no question.
You can argue all you want about his production out there, but, like, he definitely shows up to play.
He does. You know what? You know when you're going to miss it? When Jake Berger is whipping that ball over Jose Abreu's head and it's sailing into the visitor's dugout. And people are like, but we saw this video where you were really good. We don't know where the ball went. You know, throwing balls, we don't know where the ball is going. It could be right at his target. It could be this way. It could be that way. We don't know.
In a way, I kind of like the idea of Jake Berger getting like a couple weeks of isolated starts just for no reason, just to see what it looks like. Because I feel pretty good about him being able to hit left-handed pitching, but the Sox hit left-handed pitching so good it's not that useful. So I'm a little, in a way, I'm happy to see him play a little bit, and just to either one, we figure out he can play a little, and we're like, okay, he's going to be a usable part this year, or two, all the people sucking Jake Berger's nuts really hard will realize, maybe he's not that good. Maybe he needs a little more seasoning. So either way, we win from this situation.
I like the little more seasoning because his name is Jake Berger. That's awesome. Here's another thing that's a plus. He already has a robot name, a nickname. It's Burgertron. So we have the Yerminator. We already have a Burgertron. So I saw somebody in the comments already talking about how we're going to get a burger at Freddy's. God, I hope so. In 2 weeks, if Jake does enough shit to get his own burger at Freddy's, yes, let's do it. Bro.
The Burgertron. Yeah. It's a aluminum hamburger.
Yes.
So one more thing I want to talk about, guys. Another move that was just recently made, an interesting one. It was Zach Collins was traded for Reese McGuire, and if you're not familiar with Reese McGuire, catcher for the Blue Jays, he was out of options, so they couldn't really roster him, and the Sox found a way to say, hey, we got this Zach Collins over here. He's got an option. He's also left-handed. Let's make a little deal. And they did. I thought it was a good move by Rick Hahn. Now, there is some baggage that comes with a Reese McGuire. And so I was listening to the Sox Machine podcast. I'm going to play you a little clip of Jim Margulis really breaking down kind of the off-field problems of one Reese McGuire.
Ultimately, he's overexposed.
Well, there you have it. I'm not sure he was actually talking about that, but he nailed it regardless.
Yes.
Man, so, Jim is our foil now. Yes, love it. We're all in on it.
Beautiful.
Right.
But as I look at this, so the fact that he's a left-handed hitter, I like, but he's not that much of a hitter. This is all about, in Beef, you're gonna know this reference. You got to have a license plate that says it. Defense.
Yes, baby.
Defense.
Great movie.
Which one is that? Blue Chip?
That's Falling Down.
Falling down. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's a classic.
Yes.
But that's what he's here for. That's what Reese McGuire is here for. And what I like about that is that this gives you some opportunity to say, okay, he can play a lot of days because he's going to be at least a mediocre bat against right-handed hitting or right-handed pitching. And he's going to play really good defense, which allows you to DH Yaz a lot more throughout the season and keep him healthy throughout the season, right? Like, I don't like him being crouched very much. Like, I want Grandal to just walk his regular gait most of the day and hit home runs. Like, that's what I want. That. So I like that part of it. Beef, what did you think about this trade?
No, I agree with you. I love it. And I was absolutely shocked that the White Sox could get a real human player for Zach Collins. Like, kind of the way I think about the Blake Rutherford thing. Everyone's like putting Blake Rutherford in every deal. And then MSS and I made that meme where it's like, the PSA where he's pointing. It's like 108 PSA, Blake Rutherford's not a trade asset. And then, of course, they had to DFA Blake Rutherford because it got too full in the 40-man. No one fucking claimed him, and we were able to get him back, right? I mean, pointless. I didn't think Zach Collins had any value whatsoever. So I actually think this trade is more impressive than the Kimbrel Pollock one, to be perfectly honest with you, because if Rick Hahn is going to be good enough to flip kind of these little dying like prospect pieces for something usable at the back end of the roster, that's pretty freaking valuable, like in the long term of a team that's making the playoffs. I'm more impressed with this than I thought I would be. I do have a question, though, for you guys. I was thinking a little bit about this, the baggage part of the Reese McGuire thing.
Yeah.
Is his JO session in the dollar store parking lot as innocent as, like, Rex Ryan really being in defeat? Or is this some sinister behavior that we're going to have to, like, keep an eye on this motherfucker when he's around the ballpark? Like, do we got to put a detail out there watching him so he's not doing shit, It's
not as innocent as that, right? And the thing about it is it's a little bit deviant behavior, right? Like it's like, what are you doing? Why is this what you want to do? Like this seems just like a terrible. This is a terrible idea. If you have this idea, and you should know this is a terrible idea. Yeah. So like, what was it that was like? Despite this being a really awful idea, I got to go for this. This is just this has to happen. Like that worries me a bit about him. And I think, like there's two ways to look at it. There's one way to look at it and say like the Blue Jays are just like, we got to get this guy the fuck out of here. And that's why they were willing to trade him for Zach Collins.
Could be.
The other is that like, he just like, he made a dumb mistake, and he can't like get past it in Toronto. Like he's just, luckily no one's mentioning it here.
Yeah, no.
But
it's flying under the radar so far.
But it just feels like definitely like they need to keep an eye on this guy.
I've heard other shows. I'll be honest with you, Tracy. I've heard other shows. No one's digging into it like we are right now. That's why I want to hear. What do you think, my sex arm? What do you think about this too? Because to me, alarm bells are going off, and I don't know if that's just because like I'm a dad and I'm like, wait a minute, this motherfucker's doing some shit I do not approve of anywhere that could be anywhere close to regular people.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, and there's a lot of regular people that go to the dollar store. So I mean, I don't like that's kind of, I don't know if it's disturbing, per se. I don't know though. I mean, it's not like it's a serial thing. It's not like he was outside of a school. It wasn't like he was. I'm not gonna make excuses for it. It's dumb behavior. It's a stupid mistake, and maybe he just. I don't know. I can't excuse it. It was just not good. You can always lock a bathroom door. You can
Let me ask it this way.
Go inside the bathroom at the dollar store and jerk off. You can shut the door and lock it.
Let me ask it this way, MSS. If you were going to the dollar store and you witnessed this, would you hire that guy? Because that's essentially what we're talking about here.
That's right.
Man. I don't. No, I wouldn't.
I will accept that, Senor Sox. Only if they win the World Series, though. It's a special occasion. That's the only reason we're going to do it, okay? I'm not reading that for the podcast audience. Yeah, you got to come in the live stream if you want these kind of comments.
The Dollar General isn't the dollar store though. That's like Dollar General is like the more expensive one. You got to go to Dollar Tree, bro. Like,
well, he's kind of, he's up in the ante. It's like having champagne,
Yeah, no, like they have some stuff for $5 in there. I just, and it's right across the street from Wings and Rings, so you could just do a double duty. I don't think I would. But I also don't know that I would hire other people that are probably in the MLB, like things that other people that stuff probably we don't even know about, like what they've done and that people know behind the scenes. Like I probably wouldn't hire some of them, but would I put them on a softball team and I only have to deal with them like every Thursday night and they drink beers with them or something? Possibly. I don't necessarily want them around all the time, but like,
I wouldn't use his bat.
Yeah, the major league,
you might get stuck to it.
Like the grind in the major league there, like I think kind of keeps you on like more of a straight and narrow-ish path, possibly. Like I don't know.
Yeah, that's what all you hear about with the 86 Mets.
Well, but it's different now. I think it's a lot different now. It's way more commercial now. It's more corporate, more sellout.
The comments are incredible
that's
right
a good
now.
question, and you definitely got me on that. I also am not standing up for him. I don't want anyone to think that I'm saying, "Oh, that was a good move." But I also think people deserve a second chance, and I think if he moves past it, like great, and if this helps him move past it, good. The other problem, or what I saw, I only have like a few things on him. Is Zach Collins was nothing. Like it was a nothing burger. Like we didn't get nothing out of this guy. He has a negative WAR. He was a -1. He is one worse game. He's one worse than everybody else that plays the game. Like
MSS, he fits
not good.
He fits into your MO that you've been talking about all show. But the Sox are desperate for left-handed hitting. Absolutely desperate. And at the end of the last season, as they're going into the playoffs, they're like, we'll just save an option. You go down to the minors. We don't. No thanks.
No thanks. We don't need
only
you.
Left-handed guy we had. No, thank you.
What?
Go
I'll
jerk off in a parking lot.
what I'll remember
up your trade value.
What I'll remember most about Zach Collins is his looking third strike to end the 2020 playoffs in Oakland. Like that is like the pinnacle of his career to me. Like him, like not even swinging the ball at like that's his right there. Like it's close enough to be a strike, not even getting the bat off your shoulder with 2 strikes, game on the line. I'm just gonna watch this one, see what happens. I'm gonna take my chances. All right, that's soft. Okay, that's soft to me, but. Yeah, so I like him. I know you guys don't know. People don't like his batting average, but like batting average isn't a real thing anymore. But like batting average is higher. But everything is higher with this guy. Now, defensively, I saw one clip on Twitter, and somebody's like, "I can get used to this." I don't know who Reese threw out, and I don't know who was running, or it was a jump or whatever. If it was a good defensive play, it looked good in the GIF. So. It's already a defensive upgrade. If he's throwing the ball to second, that's a good thing. So,
you nailed it. You nailed it again. So, similar to the Pollock thing, where like don't expect Reese McGuire to be the best defensive catcher you've ever seen. Like he's not. Like he was worth I think like 2 defensive runs saved last year as opposed to the -18 that Collins was worth. So it is a huge upgrade over the shit we had.
Yes.
But he's not like the best defensive catcher you've ever seen. He's a good defensive catcher. We just haven't seen that here. So it's a massive upgrade. It's just like AJ Pollock could catch the ball in right field. Hooray. It's wonderful.
Guy do some basic shit. Great. We needed that.
We'll take it. We'll take the basics. League average. Yes. So
you got a little jerk off problem. Okay, we're gonna have to ignore that for now. We need this league average shit in here to do this.
But yeah, I mean, I agree, MSS. The one clip, it looked cool, but like, let's be honest about what he is, right? Like he's a backup catcher.
Yes. No doubt.
So Beef, I gotta throw something out at you with McGuire. So here's the interesting little tidbit about this guy, other than the other stuff. When he came into the league, he had a very limited small sample size run where he hit for a lot of power, like kind of really quickly. I think his first 44 games in the majors, he had 7 homers and 10 doubles. Oof. So I am not saying don't get me wrong here. Don't clip out a little tiny 2-second bit that I say and post it in your podcast like I did to Jim. But
that was great.
But is Rick Hahn looking at this and seeing a guy where he's like, if we put this guy in the right spots, if Tony is able to match him up properly for guys that he can knock around, can we play him enough that it takes the load off of Yaz and this guy actually has a decent year hitting? Like that he's like all of his normal numbers are bumped up just a little bit because we're going to match him up against these guys that he could slug against.
I mean, I think that's the hope, but I think the first priority is to figure out the best rest patterns for Yaz, the best ways to line him up with the pitcher that he'd be most effective with. I mean, I think when I was checking some of the framing numbers with McGuire, I think he was specifically good on the corners and less so at the high and low strikes. So whoever in the rotation that affects the most, maybe you try to line him up with that, or maybe you just try to line up how often does Yaz need a break and make sure that the guy's floating in there. I think when he had that run, Treasy, that was kind of in a bouncy ball era of baseball. So I think maybe he had been affected by that. But we might be back.
We're possibly bouncing that ball this year. It's possibly back.
You just never know. And Rogers Center is a good place to hit, and so is Sox Park. So I mean, I don't think there's like an upgrade or downgrade as far as like a quality of ballpark to hit in. But yeah, I think it's gonna be medicinal almost for Yaz. I think that's gonna be Tony's approach, is like, let's keep this man as healthy as possible. Let's keep this man's bat in the lineup when we need his bat in the lineup. And I even heard him saying already, Tony was already saying they're gonna focus on getting Yaz at bats at DH. So I think right now, like with the Pollock thing, with the Josh Harrison thing, with Adam Engel coming back, I think the White Sox finally have the roster, especially on the position player side, that's perfect for Tony. Because Tony likes to plug and play, and he likes to move pieces around a lot. And he's always kind of been like that. He has his stalwarts, like, yeah, you're always going to play Pujols, or you're always going to play Jose Abreu. But around that, he liked to move stuff around. And I think you have the roster right now. So that's why, a little nick up here or there, I think they're kind of built appropriately now for it. And they weren't at catcher. And I'm so glad that they made this move to make sure that they could be a catcher.
Agreed. Now, Beef, I need you to put your sweater on and read this ad.
I will do that. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching us on a live stream right now and haven't subscribed, make sure you tickle the undercarriage of that subscribe button and get on board. If you've already subscribed and are watching the show, talking smack about MSS's internet and generally meat gazing at Treasy E and I, please smash that like button in the face. If you are listening on the podcast feed and have never enjoyed the eroticism that is the YouTube version of this show, come to youtube.com/FromThe108 and hit that subscribe button. Our previous goal was 1,000 subscribers. We're currently at 1,100 plus. It's going to allow us to make minimum wage for about 1 hour per month if we do a full podcast schedule. You just can't beat that. So get your friends, your family, your dog, everyone to subscribe and allow the 108 to fulfill the dream of becoming YouTube thousandaires. I love you.
MSS so damn mad. I love it.
You know why? This is why, and this is why can ads suck. Is like I use some of my precious time today. Made a couple nice videos on the YouTube. Gonna start doing the history of Chicago White Sox stadium giveaways. We call them SGA bobbleheads. And Loaf can't even mention it, because he's already recorded the ad 8 weeks ago, and just keeps pushing play instead of writing down hey, you should check out this new series that our guy is putting a lot of his time and effort into. And that it makes me sad. It makes me sad on the inside.
Yeah, I can't argue with you. Yeah, that's good. You just want me to, pump your tires. I hear that. Even when you're not going to be on the podcast, you tell Trees and I to talk about you. So I get where you're coming from with this.
Yep. By the way, I started the small batch bourbon here. Thank you. I got it back. Small batch bourbon here, Kentucky Straight bourbon whiskey is different. It is like a blend of an oak and rye spice. So it's a very interesting taste. At first I was like, whoa, what's up with this? And then, it's good.
Fuck you, senor. Come in the comments more, Senor Sox, but I'm going to MF you when you do.
I love it. I'm loving everything about it.
It's time for something that I love to do and am terrible at. And that is bold predictions. It's time for some bold predictions. We are going to go around the horn.
Yep.
First up is pitcher predictions. I'll start with my Sox summer.
Yep.
Give me a pitcher prediction, a bold pitcher prediction.
There's a lot of things that we could go to right now, and I know you guys will touch on the big things. I'm going to touch on one that is a little bit smaller, but it's going to be a huge victory, and it's going to catch people are not expecting this. They might think they are, but they're not. They have very tempered expectations. Michael Kopech, 10 wins this year. 10 fucking wins.
I like
he is
that.
going to go the distance far enough against some other teams. We thought we were going to have a shit team, a really easy, breezy AL Central division again. Not happening. It's going to make it more impressive. But Michael Kopech, I'm putting him down for 10. I'm penciling them in for 10 dubs this year.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Take it to the house, baby.
Wonderful.
Beef.
Great approach.
Beef, what is yours?
It's funny that MSS went to the wins well, because wins are not, widely loved anymore by all the stats people. But fuck it, I'm also going to the wins well. I love going to the wins well, right? Because wins, there's the whole kill the win and wins don't matter. But wins in the longer scheme of things do kind of matter, because they tip you to the ability to go deep into a game. They tip you to longevity of pitching a lot. So what I'm going to go with is Lucas Giolito becomes the first White Sox pitcher since 2003, Esteban Loaiza, no clue what he's up to these days, but we'll find out, to win 20 games. And so Lucas Giolito, 20-win pitcher. First time the Sox have had this since 2003. And I looked through the records. There were a couple 05, 06, John Garland, 18-win seasons. There's a couple 17-win seasons from Chris Sale. But no one has gotten to 20 since Esteban Loaiza hit 21 in 2003. And I think Lucas Giolito, souped up, big chest Lucas Giolito, is going to get there, especially with this offense.
Damn. Guys both go wins. Yeah. Both went wins, which is what I had. I had a wins one.
Yes.
I'm not going to use it now.
Hold on. Treasy, do you remember when Chris Sale had 13 wins going into the All-Star break and then only won 4 games in the second half of the season?
Yeah.
God damn. I mean, we're like, this guy's going to win 25 games this year. And then, no, he didn't. Like, he won 3 games after the All-Star break. That was just really depressing.
Yeah, I'm going to.
So what are you going with?
Okay, I'm gonna stick with wins then. I'm gonna
stick with it, baby. Let's go wins.
Because I had this one, and then my Sox Summer pumped me up earlier about it because I was like, "Ooh, he's in on this too." I thought we got to go bold, man. We got to go like, how would this actually happen?
Yep.
And I have Reynaldo Lopez with double-digit wins.
Oh yes.
and here's why. I think he will get a few spot starts throughout the season, especially with the double headers, right?
Yeah.
Like I think Lopez is going to start some games. But I think he's going to have a lot of wins in relief. And the reason is I think they're going to let him go a few innings at a time. I think he could be similar to what we talked about earlier, or like the Crochet or Kopech role, where you're going to pitch 2-3 innings sometimes. And with the way the team hits, if Dallas Keuchel got banged around, or Vince Velasquez got banged around, or Michael Kopech only could go 3.5 innings because he threw too many pitches, and now Lopez is in, kind of mopping up that middle of the game, and that's when Eloy hits 3 home runs, and all of a sudden Lopez is in the spot to win, and I think he's going to rack up a lot of wins. I'm trying to remember, Beef. Do you remember the guy? He was on the Yankees in like when the Yankees were really good, and like it was some reliever. He's like a middle reliever, and he had like 9 wins one year. Like I remember people were picking him up in fantasy leagues because they're like, this guy gets more wins than starting pitchers.
The starters. No, I can't remember who that is. I was trying to think of like in the late 80s, early 90s, like those type of relievers that would always find themselves in the spot in a close game, and they would always like mop up the win. I feel like Roger McDowell had a year like that with the Mets when he was not the closer. He was just like a guy coming into the thing, and like he had 12 wins or something bizarre like that out of the bullpen.
Baseball's kind of built for it now.
It is,
and especially with the team that we've constructed, it's possible. It's wild, but it's possible. So I think that's I felt good about that being a bold prediction. I mean, I got to come back to my Sox Summers though. I love it, man. I
do too.
I would love to see Kopech just, like we're all kind of sitting here on pins and needles going like, I don't know what Kopech's going to be. I'm worried about him. How many innings can he throw? How are they going to handle him? All these things. What if he's just good?
Well, there is kind of the fans are kind of binary in that, right? There's a group of us, that's you and I, Treasy, we're like, I don't fucking know. I don't know what this is. And then there's a group of fans who are like, Kopech is a good pitcher, and he's going to be good as a starter, and they're pretty convinced of it, and so like,
I'm not convinced of that.
I'm not yet either, but I like the bold prediction because the reason why it's extra bold, like he could throw 120 innings where he's dominating, right? But then has like 6 wins or 4 wins or whatever the fuck, because he doesn't get deep into games. He doesn't kind of line it up.
Lopez could snipe those wins.
10 wins means that you got deep into a lot of games, so you gave yourself a lot of opportunities to do this. That would be fucking terrific. That would be nice if they started them easy, couple starts, and then said at the end of April, like starting in May, all right, you're a real fucking starter now. We're just going to unleash you and let's fucking go. And the guy is, he's built like a Viking. Just, at some point, you got to take the training wheels off Kopech, right? He's been here long enough. Let's fucking see what he is. Let's get him out there. So I love that take.
I love it. I'm so excited about it now. I just want to drink this whole beer right now, but I'm not going to.
Do it.
I'm not going to because I got to keep this show rolling along. Got to keep it rolling along. And now we're going to do a hitter prediction. Beef, you're up first. Give me a hitter prediction.
I hope it's not mine because If you take mine, I'll be so mad at you.
This guy fucked me by going on the IL today, but I'm sticking with this prediction, okay? I'm sticking with this man, all right? I'm going to go with the much maligned Yoan Moncada will set a career high in RBIs in 2022, okay? His previous high was on that crappy 2019 team when he had that great year, 79 RBIs. I think he's going to get over that. I think he actually could get, if he had been healthy the full year, I think he would get up into the high 90s. And I don't know if he was going to do it Tommy Hurst style, Treasy, with like 8 home runs, because I know everyone's worried about the power, but I think he would be a little opportunistic. I think he's been a little unlucky with runners on base, and I think that was going to flip over and he's going to be lucky. So I'm going to say Yoan Moncada. I'm going to say even if he misses 3 weeks, I think the White Sox offense is going to be like the Gas House Gorillas going around the bases, and Yoan Moncada is going to benefit from that, and he's going to pass up his career high, so he's going to get at least 80 RBIs this year.
Oh, man. Gotta love the 80s.
80s.
My Sox Summer, give me a hitter prediction.
Since a lot of people on White Sox Twitter thinks this guy can't do it, I think he's going to come out and show up and show everybody that he can do it. Jose Abreu, yet again, will lead the team in home runs.
I like it.
Yes,
he's
love
not
it.
going to do it. You think
75 home runs? Wow.
Yeah. These young bucks are not going to do it. I'm saying here's the thing about Jose Abreu, and this, as we get older as men, you start to look at these guys and you're like, fuck yes, look at this guy. He's still got it going. He doesn't not play. He's always out there. He gets
he's durable.
Piece of shit. He's still there. He gets fucking taken out on a base path by a fucking steamroller, and he still plays or wants to play, and they tell him just chill out. He is going to go out there and pound the shit out of that ball like he's always done, and it's just going to keep going. I don't think we're going to see a regression. I don't think we're going to see Jose Abreu. And once those younger guys, when you got Robert up there and you got Eloy out there, and they start pounding the ball, that's only going to make him want to hit the ball furthermore. He's like, I want to be with my young guys. I'm going to kill them. I'm going to show them what's up. And you're gonna see a lot of hopefully you're gonna see a lot of hope, if we can stay healthy, a lot of home runs from that trio. That trio is going to be insane. All right, so I am picking and sticking with Jose Abreu to yet again lead the team in home runs.
I love it. Fucking love that take, because I saw the poll that you put up. I think you put it up, Treasy, right? Of who's going to lead the team in home runs, and I'm like, Jose Abreu is polling at 10%.
Yeah, it's horrible.
10%. He's the guy who's led the team in home runs all this time. And all of a sudden, it happens every year. Everyone loses faith in Jose Abreu. Everyone's like, Jose Abreu's not going to come through. And then, of course, Jose Abreu does come through. He's a superstar.
Everyone's like, Jose Abreu is getting old. Jose Abreu is 47 years old, guys. All right? He got old 10 years ago.
Been old.
He's plateaued. This is what he is. He's going to be this until he's 62 years old.
100%. And he always plays, except for that one year when he almost lost a nut. That was the only year he had to sit out sometime. Otherwise,
and he barely sat out. I would have been out for the rest of my life.
He almost lost the testicles, and he would miss 6 weeks. No big deal. He runs into a guy. He gets next silly. He wants to play the next day. Yep. He doesn't care. The man does not care. He'll get back out there.
Take it easy. You're still seeing Batman. Just sit down.
Exactly.
What about you, Treasy? What's your hitter prediction?
So, I mean, obviously, I think everyone knows about my Eloy 74 home run thing, and I'll bet that as soon as PointsBet gives it to me. I'm not going to shy away from that. This is one of my predictions, but that's not for today. That's a known prediction. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking, what's kind of a weird hitter thing that we could come up with. It's not home runs, it's not RBI, it's something else. And I came up with it. And I think that there's a possibility to this. The guy's got to reclaim a little of his speed that he might have lost over the years. But Josh Harrison will lead the league in triples this year.
Oh, I like that.
And I think it's a few compounding things. Now, let me say, last year, league leader in triples was 8. All right, so it's not like it's crazy.
So I was going to bring up that point, Treasy. It's not high, and there was a year where Yolmer Sanchez tied for the league lead in Sox Park, and it's tough in Sox. It's tough in Sox Park to hit triples. It's just a small ballpark, So
now here's why I think that this is a possibility. Josh Harrison is very much a contact guy. Like he's not gonna strike out that much. He's gonna get the ball and play a lot, and he kind of hits it everywhere. You know, he does. He's natural pull, right? Like just like any other hitter, but he can hit it to all sides of the field. And so when you're looking at how teams are going to have to play against the Sox, like you don't want to give up RBI to Josh Harrison, right? He's the end of the lineup guy. You're going to play him in. You're going to go like, he's not going to beat me deep. I'll just play this guy in, try and get the out at home because no one can throw from the outfield anymore. Yes. So there's going to be scenarios where if he scorches it down one of the lines, there's no one near it. Right. And like, there's going to be a lot of opportunity to get extra base hits like that. And why not take the extra base? He seems like a guy who hustles. If I remember him from Pittsburgh and from the Nats, like the guy was always trying to get that extra base, always trying to go first to third. So like, I feel like he could do it. I feel like that it's something that it's an oddball thing, but if he got to like double-digit triples, it wouldn't surprise me.
Man. Yeah, I could see this because especially like he's going to play a lot. He's going to play in a great offense. And he makes a ton of contact. And I was reading something about how while the league strikeout rate is skyrocketing, his is actually going down. He's been making more contact as he ages. So like that predicates that. And like you mentioned, I love the idea about the outfielders who can't throw. Yeah, because everyone is searching for guys who can hit. They don't care about the arm anymore. They're like, fuck it. We just need guys who can put the bat on the ball these days and hit home runs for us. So amazing. I love it.
I mean, the Tigers, the Tigers got Meadows, right?
Yeah, Austin Meadows. They traded for him. Yeah.
He can't play the outfield.
He's going to put a glove on, but he's
like
the DH.
Slightly better Andrew Vaughn out in the outfield. Like I think so. Like
he's the DH.
Yeah, there's guys out there that shouldn't be playing out there. It's a year to hit a bunch of triples.
Year. You're a Treasy. You're the triples. All right.
You're a Treasy's coming.
Juicy triples. This year. Could be Juicy triples.
Juicy triples.
I think that's a total recall. Right?
Only Arnie knows about that.
I wish I had three hands. Maybe we wish I had 3 hands.
Oh, God. That's a great movie, man. Like
you don't have that graphic up? You don't have that graphic ready?
I mean, I have this graphic ready. Are you talking about this one?
That's the one he was hoping for.
That's 100% the one I was thinking. I'm like, he's got to have the 3 titties. Yeah, he did.
MSS, we're getting a report from the comments from Senior Sox that you need to read to yourself. You don't need to read to our podcast listeners, but that's important to you, buddy. You're welcome.
All right. So the last of the bold predictions. It's just the one more bold prediction for the Sox. We'll get into some other bold predictions, but this is a team, coaching, or front office bold prediction.
Yep.
My Sox summer, you go first. I feel like you got the pulse of this kind of stuff more than us. So I want to hear from you first.
So like I thought about this a lot, right? And like I don't see any spectacular movement like during the middle of the season. I don't see any late signings. I think we've kind of rolling into this stuff. We're gonna see what happens, and then they'll make some moves, but it potentially could be underwhelming, or it could be like a Craig Kimbrell situation where we get totally shocked and we're like, holy shit, these guys actually care. Now, what I think is going to happen, I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't think Tony La Russa finishes the year as head coach. I think he steps down somewhere in the middle of the season. I don't know how. I don't know why. It could be a health issue. It could be.
Tracy, last year you predicted his death during the
season. I did. I
don't think he's going to die. Per se.
I RIP and peaced him last year.
Yeah.
But now you're doing
fuck
it.
You. He's still alive, and he's going to say fuck you to MSS to be alive, too.
Maybe this is what he needs to continue to fight and do all the shit that he doesn't need to be doing in his old age. So I don't know. Like, I just think for some reason, just have this feeling like he's only going to do 2, and maybe like, I don't know, maybe he just doesn't make it through the 2. So we'll see.
Some good thoughts coming from the comments.
You know what?
Mailman Jack says most fights, and then Senior Sox says Hawk back at GM.
Oh my goodness!
I don't want to do that. Oh, poor Hawk.
Beefy, what's yours, buddy?
You know what? I don't believe in MSSs. This is bad juju. You guys wishing death on people. That's what it was. It was a death wish. That's your word. No, I don't care. I don't care what you say. You tried to soft shoe it. You said he's going to drop dead in the dugout. He's not doing that. Okay, I don't believe in that. No, you know what? I was thinking about this a little bit. Treesy's man and White Sox Dave's best friend in the whole world, Rick Hahn, really had kind of a terrible offseason for a contending team. I know, like, the Pollock thing sweetened it up for a lot of people, but not for me. They just grabbed an aged outfielder. I mean, it's good. I'm glad they did that, but they didn't do shit there to me personally. So I think there's going to be a ray of sunshine that comes on Rick Hahn when we get to this, the trade deadline. He's going to make a deal for a guy and have an absolutely awesome deadline. Last year, he really went for it. And he got shit. He got bags of shit back for really trying hard, making good trades and things. You're like, oh, these are improvements to the team or whatever. He's going to go out there and get a no-name bullshit pitcher like Kyle Freeland or someone from the Rockies. And Kyle Freeland's going to show up and go like 8-1. He's going to fucking 1984 Rick Sutcliffe show up from the Indians. Guardians now. And go 16-1 for the Cubs. That shit. Like, that's what Rick Hahn's going to do at this trade deadline. And it's going to be a guy who we're all going to be like, oh, that's who we got? And the guy's going to fucking dominate. So I think he's going to flip the script on the thing. He's going to have a really good deadline, which he hasn't really had since we've been a contending team. 2020 sat on his fucking hands. 2021, he went for it. Everything went to crap. I think 2022 is the year where he finally hits something at the deadline, and it's meaningful to the White Sox.
I like it. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take a huge deadline get. That sounds awesome. So for mine, I'll ask you guys which one you want. Do you want a Rick Hahn one, or do you want a bigger front office one?
Bigger front office.
That's what I agree. Bigger front office. Let's do it.
The process to start selling the White Sox will start this season.
Woo! I like it.
Somewhere in the middle of this season, it will be announced that they are selling the team and taking bids. That will happen within the next 6 months.
Man.
Wow, I like that.
I'm glad you guys took that one, because my other one was that the Sox are still going to sign Conforto.
Yes, in like May or something like that.
I'm just thinking this through,
soon.
Right? And Chorizo, I don't think you're that far off, because honestly, if you're looking to sell this team right now in mid-season, the value is never probably going to be higher, right? Like, unless they look like total dog shit.
Yeah.
And like then you might have to go down. But right now, like, all eyes on us, like, type going on. Like, the Cubs suck and they're not for sale. But you have a team that's going up big time on the south side of baseball or south side of Chicago. And it's just like, I just think you need, see, I think that could be true. Because you're like, listen, right now you're buying, you're going to sell at the top of the market. This is top market.
I'll give you the inner workings of Chorizo E's brain for a moment.
Yeah, let's
dive in. How I came to this conclusion. It was not about actually thinking about Jerry or them selling the team. I started with Kenny Williams, because Kenny Williams is a guy who said, like, this is probably my last year in baseball. And he's been very vocal about diversity in the front office and things like that. Yep. And I was like, what would keep Kenny Williams in Chicago as part of the team? And I thought, what if there was a minority owner of the Sox? And not like I own a small portion of the Sox as a minority owner. I mean, like, a person of color is the owner of the Sox. Owner, yes. And so I was like, oh man, that would be interesting. And I wonder what, if Kenny would stick around and be part of that, and what could that look like? And then I was like, Jerry's 100. They might do this. Might happen soon. So I was like, fuck it. Well, let's sell the team.
Fuck it. Man.
All right.
So basically, what I get from your guys' predictions is, my sex summer is predicting Tony's going to die. And
I know what you're
predicting Jerry's dying. I don't like.
I would not predict that. I did not predict that.
Guy says he's 100. Might as well sell.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. I don't have that image, so I had to just yell it.
Damn.
I can't believe you too.
Wow.
I don't know where we're going to go. I know we're going to talk about the guy jerking off. All right. I knew we were going to go there. That's fine by me. But this morbid shit, that's why I got my glasses on. I'm crying underneath here right now.
Chuck, I don't know if you're being serious, but yes, let's have MJ. That would be
basically stay healthy.
Basically, don't die.
Listen, Michael Jordan has made the Charlotte Bobcats what they are today, so he definitely needs him.
Yeah,
around.
I don't think it's going to be MJ. I don't think it's going to be.
Yeah,
it's going to be someone richer than MJ.
How about
It's
this?
got to be someone with more money than
Obama?
MJ.
Someone's saying Obama.
I mean,
Obama?
Oprah's the best shot at having the money to do this. But
oh my god!
But
Dude,
so
you imagine Oprah taking over the White Sox, and then imagine all the pastels that will be up at guaranteed rate. Like it would just be pastels.
Oh, I just thought about all the cool shit we'd have under our seats when we show up to the game.
Oh, that's true too. Like, hey, who's got a?
Alex Root says Kanye. I would love Kanye's. That would be entertainment 24/7.
I'd prefer Common, but we'll take Common. So we're not done with the predictions because there's another round of predictions that we need to do, which is the 108 prediction. So what's going to happen in the 108? I'm going to go first because fuck you guys. And I'm definitely not letting you guys steal this one.
Yeah.
Rick Giolito will spend a game in the 108 this year. It will be a Dylan C start. He'll sit right next to Beef.
Just to rub it in. Just to tell me how much I'm a fucking idiot, which he told me at that one show before Dylan Cease was good, and he just kept rubbing it in all year. Now, he has visited the area. We talked on the concourse because we don't want everyone to bum rush old Rick Giolito, so we met up on the concourse and chat a little bit. I would love it, Treasy. I would absolutely love to have Rick come and sit with us, and, that would be a great conversation. He's always a great conversation. Anytime we had a chance to chew the fat with him. Just a great guy.
I would love it. I think My Sock Summer has got to find a bourbon guy in our area.
That's true.
So that we can, help Rick out and be like, hey, we got your bourbons today. All right. They're on the 108,
Yep.
My Sock Summer, what's your 108 prediction?
Man, it's hard because I have a good fan base one, but I don't have a good 108. And I guess fan base 108 is kind of similar.
That's the same.
So I'm going to go with that because I'll think more on the 108 thing, and then maybe I'll tweet it later. But my guaranteed lock pick, that prediction for the 2022 season, in the first 2 to 3 weeks of the White Sox season, the entire fan base will give up on this team. Like, they will be like, this team sucks. I am not going to any more games. They fucking suck.
I love it.
The weather sucks. I hate this. Fuck these guys. And they're going to do that because injuries to Makata, injuries to Tim Anderson, injury to Lance Lynn, losing Garrett Crochet. I don't think it's going to gel so well the first 3 to 4 weeks. And I think a lot of people are going to be like, I'm done with this bullshit. Like, I can't take it. There's definitely going to be a blow up on Twitter. I think that's like typical. I think that's going to happen regardless. Like, they could win 9 out of 10 games and be like, Tony should have won that 10th. That motherfucker, that goddamn Franzia drinking asshole. Like, why did he not win that 10th game? But I think it's not going to be that pleasant, and it's going to be dirty, and we're going to weed some more people out. Like the people that got weeded out by the strike that have slowly started coming back, that are now like, hey, look at the parking pass I got. The next one is going to weed out even more people. So,
you know what? I was gonna say. You know what, Treasy? The way I felt about My Sock Summer's bold prediction there was he started off hot. I really liked it. Then he dipped into a total fan-shaming thing, which I'm like, this motherfucker, shut the fuck up. But then he finished strong as hell and spiked the goddamn ball. So I'm back in on your prediction here, My Sock.
Let's go White Sox!
Yes!
All right. Loaf, what do you got?
Lay it.
All right. I've been thinking about this a bunch. I was telling My Sock Summer today a bunch of stuff on our walk. We did a walk today. I predict, and you got to say it like you mean it, that the 108 is going to land themselves 2 new sponsors that are not stuff we currently do. So no booze, none of this other stuff. It's going to be some random ass things, but my mind is percolating on some ideas, and I think it's time that we add to the portfolio of sponsors. If we're going to be the corporate podcast, as people say we are, let's keep adding these goddamn sponsors. So we're going to add 2 more.
I mean, there's only one thing to say. The corporate as fuck podcast from the 108.
We got to tweet that a little bit.
Gillette. Or something.
Exactly.
Yeah,
no, where your brain is going, like some random shit where you're like, wait a minute, why are they a sponsor of the 108
I got the
podcast?
ad read already, and I only thought of that 2 seconds ago. Before I jump in that hot tub.
What about you guys are going wrong. Okay, the Dollar Tree is pretty good, but like think like Crackus ham. Like that's more like along the lines of what I'm thinking. Like, do you like huge cans of ham? Where are your guys?
I told you I've got a little bit that I was. We'll
that's
workshop
good.
that. We'll workshop that thing. Yeah, it wasn't for ham, but it's for something else. But we'll workshop that. Don't worry.
Yeah, just the ham in there. We could do that with anything.
Here we go. I agree with Senor Socks. Look,
God.
Let me tell you something, Senor Socks. I do want to be with an ambulance chaser in a video. Okay, we're definitely going to work on that angle. Probably not going to be Howard Rankin. We might not be in that class yet, but we're going to get that done. Don't worry.
We need a different guy. We need
someone else.
Glenn Lerner or something. who may or may not be Oxwoods. We don't know.
It's hard to tell.
We don't know. These
all right, I'm not going to be shamed. I'm not going to be shamed about lowbrow tortillas. If I get in with Mission, how many people we lose here? Everyone? It's everyone out.
Pretty corporate. It's pretty corporate.
Everyone's out if we do that one. There's certain ones we can't do, obviously.
Man,
do you like styrofoam? So, Beef. We're getting into the next topic here, right? Yeah. And you got something for us, and I looked for a graphic. I had already asked My Sock Summer for a different graphic, and he gave it to me delivered very well. And I was like, fuck, I can't find a good graphic for this. So fuck you. I know this is over unders. Yeah, we're calling it this or that because I still have this graphic.
That's just
we're using that one.
You know what, Treasy? I was looking through the graphics, just randomly while you guys were talking, and I saw that one. I almost just put it up because I love it. I
love that graphic.
What we were talking about. I just love it anyway. We'll bring this or that back. I think MSS probably has a treasure trophies building up. Yeah. When we have a game night, we'll do the second half of the game night. It'll be this 100%. Or that. But no, tonight I want to do some over unders because I want to cap off. We did our bold predictions. We're leading into the season. I want to do some over-unders, just some gambling-style stuff. So I've got a list. I got 15 total, broken up by position players for 5, hitters for 5, and then some potpourri for 5. Get into it.
Ooh, potpourri.
I'm going to go this way. I'll point the muddy end of the stick at one of you to start, but both of you will answer each of the over-unders. Okay, and I'm going to start with Treasy. All right?
Okay.
Treasy. Eloy Jimenez, over-under, 73.5 home runs.
Well, I'm going over.
Pretty obvious, right?
He's a world beater.
Yeah.
Beef. Here's the thing. This is an impossible feat. This is an impossible feat. It's an impossible record to break.
Yep.
But imagine a scenario where Eloy hits like 15 home runs in a month, like something like outrageously high. Like you can like look at it and go like, oh shit, like what's he gonna get to, right? And like and we're Sox fans, so like I'm looking at Eloy like this. Blue Jays fans have to be looking at Vladdy like this. Yeah, they just have to have the same kind of outlook of like, I don't know what the top number is for this guy. Exactly. How is there a top number for what this guy can hit in a year, right? Or the Red Sox too. Like if they're like, if Devers is healthy all year, or like Ohtani's healthy all year and he's DHing all the time. Like, what are these guys going to hit, right? Like, so it's not so much that I believe he's going to hit 74 home runs this year, but to me it's one of those things where it's like, why not shoot the moon on this guy? Mm-hmm. Because there's no reason to limit him. So like I would say, Beef, if you would have get like the betting line, he's in I think 32 or something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Which is reasonable. It's totally reasonable. That's a high number. But if you would have said 39.5, I probably still would take the over, just because you've got to hope that that's what he is. You've got to hope that Eloy is going to do something like that. And so I'll go 74.
How about you?
He's talked me into it. I'm going to go with a push. I think he's going to hit 72.5 home runs.
Bounce home run. Exactly. Bounce home run.
That's half home run. I like this.
Damn right.
You get the half home run. I don't know you could hit a half home run. No problem with that. Absolutely. I love it. That's absolutely tremendous. No, you're right in the fact that the sustained success bullshit is predicated on a couple of these guys becoming real world beaters, and Eloy's one of them. So yeah. All right. Next up, and I'll start with my suck summer.
Okay.
He loves RBIs much like I do. So we're going to go Andrew Vaughn plus Gavin Sheets. So we're going to smash them together like who, Chirizi?
Station.
Like Station. 108.5 RBIs combined for the year. Over, under my suck summer. What do you think?
Over. I'm going to go over, and I'm going to say because you're less likely to have Andrew Vaughn having to run around with his head cut off in right field or left field, and he can focus on just doing what he does, and then that's hit baseballs. And maybe plays first every once in a while. I don't know. Yaz might still get the nod until Yaz breaks, and then we have to have him Vaughn go to first to give Jose a day off every 7 days. But I think he's going to be primarily focused on just hitting baseballs. So I'm going to go with that, Andrew Vaughn. I'm going to go with over on the 108.5. Right? You said 108.5?
108.5. Chirizi, how about you? 108.5 over, under? Yeah, Andrew Vaughn plus Gavin Sheets, RBIs, so combined, over 108.5.
Yeah.
I'm going to go under. So, yeah, what you're asking me.
Don't believe in those guys, do we?
What you're asking me right now is the combination of Vaughn and Sheets at DH and outfield or wherever they're going to play equal to the output of Jose Abreu, whose over-under number is 108.5, and I don't think it is. And I don't dislike these guys. I think they're fine, but I think that they're not going to produce like he produces, not yet, and they're not going to play probably as many games combined as Jose Abreu will play this year. I just don't, because they're not going to play at the same time.
Well, I was going to say that's the math problem right there. Will you see them in the lineup together?
Rarely
enough for it to happen.
Rarely. Right? Someone will have to be hurt for that to be the case. Mm-hmm. So I'm doubtful on that. So I think that their games played are going to be similar combined to what Abreu's are, and I don't think they produce like him. So I'm going to take the under.
Man, awesome. That's a good thing. The only thing that you haven't considered, Gavin Sheets, 10 grand slams next year, baby. He's going to get 40 RBIs on only 10 swings to the bat. So, listen, it's like Rock and Jock. When they had that little circle that you could hit 10 points. I remember that. He's going to be hitting grand slams. They're only going to put him in for grand slams. I got a direct line over to Tony La Russa. He's just going to put him in when he can potentially hit a grand slam.
I'm going to go out on a limb. Button. My suck summer, I'm going to go out on a limb. I think if he hits 10 grand slams, he might lead the league in grand slams.
We'll look that up. We'll see if that would be the league leader. We're not sure at this point. All right. Then
Adam, will please get on that.
Exactly.
Please see what happens.
Exactly. Have someone in the comments.
Is Chris Kamka in the comments? Could you verify this?
Sorry. All right. Next up, and we'll let Treasy go first, is Luis Robert and Tim Anderson combined over under 39.5 stolen bases.
Oh man. So this is tough because you have to wonder how much they're actually going to run. With the fully healthy lineup, I don't think that they're going to have these guys run as much. And so I'm going to go with the under. I'm going to say that they don't. I think these guys still combine for about 30 stolen bases or something like that, but I think they're going to limit the amount they're running because the next guy up can always drive you in. Yeah. There's not a guy. That's what's awesome about this lineup. Until Reese McGuire's in the lineup, everyone can drive you in. Right? And I'm not a knock on Reese McGuire, but Reese McGuire's not coming up to bat, and you're like, this is a fucking double, definitely. Like so like I think with the guys that are going to be behind them, like it doesn't make sense to steal very much, and it probably doesn't. Probably a lot of the time it doesn't. You might be running, to try and stay out of double plays, to try and go first to third or first to home on some of these things. I just don't think they're going to try and steal a lot of bases.
All right. MSS, you want me to repeat the question? You got it.
Oh, no, I got it.
Okay.
But for a slightly different reason, I agree with Chirizi, but for a different reason is one of the times that I've seen Luis Robert steal a base, his feet got there before his hands and he slid head first. So I don't want this guy sliding, stealing third, taking an extra bag. Don't worry about it, bro. Somebody's going to get you on the backside. Don't stress. We need you healthy. That is our plan. So just don't even worry about going the extra mile. Just you walk in. No sliding.
I do remember that when he first got to the majors, and you leaned over. You're like, "Did this guy never learn how to slide? Played baseball his life. He has no idea how to slide."
It's his feet. His feet are like on his shoulder. And it just looks weird,
Yeah. Whatever you just did, don't do that again.
Very unnatural. So coming from a guy that is very unnatural in a lot of athletic things, that was very, very unnatural for a professional athlete.
Absolutely. All right. Next up, and we'll start with my Sox summer. We're going to go with OPS, not OPP, OPS. Okay. Yohan Moncada, over-under, OPS of 799.5. So will he have an 800 OPS or below an 800 OPS?
What is that? How many hits is that per 10 or something?
So OPS it's going to be on-base percentage plus slugging percentage.
Okay.
And so Yohan Moncada has only had 1 year, I think, above.
What's the best one?
I will look it up.
No, you could go above 1.
Okay.
You can go above 1, for sure.
Okay.
So Yohan Moncada's years with the White Sox, his OPS has been 750 in 2017, 714 in 2018, 915 in 2019, 705 in 2020, and 787 last year. So very close to last year's number.
Okay, so he's going to do better than last year. Yeah, I'm going to go over. I think I'm hoping that this like short delay to the season for him might light a fire under his belly, or it could be a total backfire and he get sucked into the Hooters lifestyle again. But I think I'm hoping
Hooters lifestyle, Dollar Tree lifestyle. We got a lot of things going on with this team.
I'm just gonna go.
NWI is under assault.
He's gonna perform this year. I think he's gonna go up. Let's get him back to his previous number. This is 915. That was nice.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah, it's a superstar number right there.
Go over.
Chorizo, what do you think, baby?
I'm gonna go under, and the reason is pure ego. So last year, Beef, we talked about this, and I told you what I believe Yohan Moncada is, which is a high 700s, really good fielder at third base.
Yep.
And I love that. Like, I don't want to say, he's only going to hit, his OPS is only going to be 787. That's great. Like,
that's good. Yeah.
Look at the team we have. Give me that guy at third base. I'll take him every day. As long as he's really good in the field, I want it. Especially when you have Timmy, who I love Timmy, but Timmy's not the best fielding shortstop in the league. Give me a guy that's going to cover some ground at third base and make it easier on Timmy. So, like, I love Moncada for that, but he's a high 700s OPS guy. He's a, 15 to 25 range home run. If he gets up to the 25, he exceeds it. But I think it's going to be closer to 20 every year. So I don't know. I'm going under, but I still love his music videos. I still love him as a player.
Actually, that was something I wanted to bring up earlier in our predictions. Will Yohan Moncada still use his own song as his walk-up song? Like, does he have a
fucking hope so?
Does he have a fresh jam for this year, or does he use the old shit? Like,
I don't know.
You know how much I love freshies and the new. So like, hopefully he's got some new stuff. That's what.
What if it's a new track from him?
Oh, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that's what that's what I thought he meant actually.
Like maybe that's what he does, like an English like cover song or something. Like that would just be the shit, right? Like remember like the Locomotion, like. Yoan Moncada like covers the Locomotion. Like that would
that's a blog post. That's a blog post. The five songs Yoan Moncada should cover as a musician.
He should cover.
What's funny is we all think that he hurt his side. He's recording a track called Right Oblique. That's why he's going to be out for 3 weeks.
Yep.
It's like Ron Artest leaving the team in the middle of the year to go record.
Michael Bay's filming the video. It's going to be a 3-week shoot.
It's going to be hot. His buddy's got a new iPad with some serious drum loops, so he's got it going.
All right. Last one of the hitter ones. And I'm going to start my Sox Summer again because this is boy. Lurie Garcia, over under 44.5 RBIs. And you had mentioned his RBIs last year. He had 54. And he was in the top 6 on the White Sox. And I remember we talked about this at a live remote or whatever. And I thought he would finish top 5. I think he just missed. But anyway.
He didn't. Yeah, he finished I think he was 6th.
Over under 44.5 this year.
I think he's gonna go. I think he's gonna go over, and he's gonna do it quietly, and I don't think it's gonna be much over. But I think he's not gonna be as much. Like last year, it was sort of needed. Like he needed to get RBIs. So and he was relied upon, oddly enough, to get RBIs.
It kind of was like it was good that he got as many clutch hits.
Yeah. And I think this year, hopefully, the pressure is off, and we get like a loose Lurie, just like out there, just fancy. What is it? Footloose and fancy free, and just knocking that ball over. I like that. I like it. I
think that's the cat food that we buy for.
It's very.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I don't know. It felt a little. It felt a little warning.
It was a little risque.
I don't know. Hey, listen, my ears started to get warm about 10, 15 minutes ago. So I think that first bourbon
boy, the whiskey got him. The whiskey got him.
It hasn't got me yet. It hasn't got me yet.
Don't let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
If I continue to drink fast, it's gonna get me.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves in the questions here.
MSS is gonna freeze up for like 5 seconds, and he's gonna come back, and he's not gonna have a shirt on.
One can only hope. Get the magic 8-ball out. Tell us what's happening. Chorizo, how about you? Lurie Garcia, over under 44.5 RBI.
I'm gonna go over. I'm with MSS here. So the reason I think it overworks here is because he's gonna be the first guy off the bench always. Like he's like if someone's hurt, someone needs a day off, Lurie's playing. So he's gonna play a lot of games this year. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he was like in the 100 to 120 games that he plays this year easy, like because they're gonna use him. Like he's as soon as Timmy's back, Lurie's playing third. Like unless you're going against like a lefty, then you might play Berger, but even then, like you might still play Lurie, like just because the defense is so much better. And I don't think Lurie's a great defender. Third base is his best position, though. So I think he's going to play quite a bit, especially in these first 3 weeks. I think he's going to play in the outfield quite a bit. So, like, there's just a lot of opportunity for him to play. And so 44.5, was it 44.5?
44.5, yep.
Yeah. Well, 46.
I like easy over 46. I'll make it by 2.
I would put all my money on this 46 RBI.
All right. Let's switch over to the pitching side. I'm going to start with my guy Treese, and we're going to go with Dallas Keuchel. How many Dallas Keuchel starts of 3 innings or less will there be in 2022? I'm going to set the over-under at 3.5. So how many times does he get bombed for 3 innings or less?
I'm going to go under. I'm going to go under.
All right.
And the reason I'm going to go under is because I think Dallas Keuchel is going to stick for a while on this team. And I think he's going to be serviceable. And I also think that Tony La Russa has enough confidence in this team that he's going to say, look, I got some young pitchers on this team. I got injuries in my bullpen. You're going to get out there and you're going to work. I don't give a shit how bad
so you think he's going to wear some outings. He's going to wear some.
If you gave up 6 runs in the first inning, you're pitching 5 innings today. I don't give a shit if you throw 140 pitches. Like, I could see La Russa going that way on him. And so I'm going to say under. Like, I think if he's wearing it, they're just going to go, we're going to lose this game, but I'm not going to waste all my guys because I don't have enough guys to do that.
All right. Sounds good. My Sox Summer. You want me to repeat the question? Or you got
No. I got it. It's a good, compelling argument that he's going to go under because Tony La Russa is going to stick it to him, and he's going to make him own it. And that's pretty good. I'm inclined to still think that they're going to be trying to win. I'm gonna go with an over. I think he is going to at least be 4 games that he has pulled before the third, right? Or after third, whatever.
Yeah,
now,
right.
It could be
3 innings or less. Yeah.
A litany of reasons, right? One of them could possibly be he's working the long con and he is trying to get Tony La Russa fired, and he is like just going to go out there and throw shit balls. And like just like he did with Ricky Renteria in 2020, when he went out and gave up every pitch that he wasn't supposed to, people are hitting the ball the way they're not supposed to. I think that he could potentially do that again. So I'm going to, you got to bet on Dallas always. He's a mastermind. Yeah. He's smart. He's in for the long con. Potentially. Yeah, I'm going to take the over. I like that everyone says I'm drunk. Like you've seen me drunk.
Fine.
I'm fine.
You seem fine. I just have to put it up there because K-Dog's a huge jerk, so I got to put any of his comments up there.
I'm not going to have a third drink, though, because I will be drunk. So
I like that. I respect that.
Yeah.
That's right.
I know my limits.
Right. Okay? Have some water. Okay. All right. The next one, I'm going to start with my Sox Summer, is his guy, Michael Kopech, who we talked about in the bold prediction. So Michael Kopech starts of 6 innings or more. So 6.0 innings or 6 1/3 or whatever or more. Over under 3.5.
Oh, over. Have to be over. Because if I pick him to get 10 wins, he's got to go over that. I mean, you can't have
all 5 inning starts that are all wins. That'd be tough.
Well, now he could come in a relief setting and get there if he ends up not being a starting pitcher.
If they switch it up,
we'll get a W. See, that's how I'm not drunk, Matt Ramsey, dumb fuck. It's a number thing, even. I'm going over though. Like even with that.
Chorizo.
So if I were spending money on this, I'd probably go with the under, but I'm not. I'm being a fan here, and I'm thinking about it how I want to see the season go. I'm gonna go over. I think because if you're thinking about like how many quality starts is Michael Kopech going to get in a year when he's supposed to be
White Sox? It says it fucking better be over.
He's your number 3 right now, right? Like he's your number 3 until Lynn's back, and like you're gonna have to do it. Like, and so I'm going over. I wouldn't put money on it, but I'm gonna go over.
I like it. I respect that you caveat it 7 times with I would never spend money on this. However, for content, I will go over.
Beef, if like some of the bets that you've thrown out there, like if I saw those on a line, I'd be like,
you'd smash.
That book's trying to catch me. I'm not even gonna look at this one.
Love it. I'm gonna start with Trees on this one.
That your lawn was looking fabulous, and I hope that you weren't hurt too much by the hail that was whipping Loaf and I in the face while we were walking the Mount Bridgeport.
We were getting whipped in the face. Hello.
While you were fucking mowing your lawn today. So
settle in, William. There's still some show left. All right, next over under. I'm gonna start with Chirizi, and this is gonna be non Liam Hendricks saves. So saves by people that are not Liam Hendricks. The over under 4.5. Chirizi?
Over.
Like you were decisive right away.
Yeah. So here's why. Tony loves Liam Hendricks, and if it's a close game, I think Liam Hendricks is pitching in the 8th or whenever. Doesn't matter, and they'll try and go for 2 innings or whatever. But there's going to be enough situations where Hendricks pitches and he gets, he keeps the game tied and it ends up in someone else's hands. There's a save from someone else. And there's going to be enough situations where Hendricks pitched 2 innings yesterday and an inning the day before that. And now we're going to have to rely on Kendall Graveman to get a save. I like Aaron Bummer. Aaron Bummer would be my guy to try and get some of these saves. I think that Tony will use Graveman in that role, though. Similar to what I was saying earlier, I think he's looking at Graveman as what he wanted out of Kimbrel. And so I could see that them using him in that fashion.
Okay.
5
times.
Sox
summer.
Five
At least 5 times. My Sox summer. How many saves by people who are not Liam Hendricks? The over-under is 4.5. I thought it was a tough number. Like when I put that up there and I was like, thinking to myself,
it is.
I don't know which way I would bet on this because last year there were only 3 saves that Liam Hendricks did not get on the White Sox.
Right.
There were
and now we don't even have,
there's no Kimbrel. Right, exactly. So there's no other save guy, basically.
Man, do we have another guy that comes out like a Bobby Jenks and just shocks and awes, going into the playoffs? Do you have?
So that's a good call, my Sox summer. I don't know what's back there. Treasy's right. I could see the Graveman because Graveman was a closer before, but you're right. Could be a guy comes out of nowhere. Right. You're oh shit, this is a guy we're going to start using this guy in late inning role that we're not thinking about right now.
You're selling yourself on Kyle Crick, Beef. And
I am not. No, I'm not.
I don't appreciate the backtracking that you're doing right now.
See, they're getting me. They're already getting me. Yeah, that I'm saying it's Kyle. I'm not saying it's Kyle Crick. It could be anyone, Steven. How dare you? All right, how dare you? There's people yelling. And Luke Anderson Severino. Yeah, he's in AAA right now. He's in Charlotte. Hopefully he's got a nice apartment in Charlotte right now.
Hopefully he has his own bed.
Hopefully he's not on an air mattress right now.
So here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say I feel like things are going to be going really well. And I can already envision us towards the end of the season, let's say late July, early August. Everything's a lot of shit's wrapped up. And we're like, okay. And we're smiling in. And they're like, hey, let's take a little easy on some of these guys. Let's take it easy on a Hendricks. Let's not make him go out every other night. Let's have him every third night or something. Give some guys some opportunities. And here's one guy's opportunity to show up and be like, listen, I can be that setup guy for Liam. And they just let him go. He's just got it dialed in and it goes. I don't know who that is. Maybe it'll be somebody. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna go with an over. Let's go with an over. I think that's a hard number to hit. I think it's gonna take some things. But I have some faith in the team that we might be able to give them some rest come down the stretch, and that might play into it.
So the overs, the way you guys are betting them, are in a real positive vein, meaning someone's going to come up and there's going to be some.
Yeah, I don't want to say the other thing. I don't want to say
the other way is real bad. The other way to get to this over is really fucking bad. So let's not even think down that path. I like the way you guys are doing it. Okay. All right. Next up, I'm going to start with my Sox summer. It is Lucas Giolito plus Dylan Cease over under on strikeouts, and that number is 429.5.
What did they have last year?
They had 427 together last year.
Really? Yeah. And an outstanding year for
Cease, but
kind
Cease
of a
only
subpar year for Lucas.
Cease only pitched 165 innings. So his inning total could go up this year if he gets more efficient with his pitching. And you're right, Giolito had a Giolito year, basically. He didn't have as many strikeouts, but he pitched about as many innings.
Yeah.
He kind of did what he did. So
and before I get yelled at by Papa G, a down year for an insanely awesome athlete. Still way better than anybody. I'm gonna go with an over because I'm high on everything. So why not? Let's just continue to punch it. I feel like Lucas contract year, ARB year, is going to be showing out. I think Dylan, new representation, needs to get some flash in that pan, showing out. So here you got 2 guys on that team that just gonna roll. Bro shows up with a mustache to spring training, and everyone sets the world ablaze.
He's flexing.
I can see it. I can see them just like crushing all year. So I'm gonna go with an over.
Chorizo, what about you? 429.5 strikeouts for Giolito plus Cease, over under.
So the logical part of my brain is saying that they're both going to want to pitch more innings this year, so they're going to be more efficient with their pitches, and they're probably not going to get quite the strikeouts that they've had previously. So I don't think Dylan Cease is going to, get that, amazing strikeout total he had last year. But that part of my brain is worthless. So fuck that part. I'm going to say they're going to be pushing 450. So I'm going to.
I love it.
I'll go over.
Nice.
I honestly, I think that, like, truly they're probably going to try and get more efficient, and they might come in below that number.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I don't know why not have a year where Cease throws 240 strikeouts. Like, he's got it in him. He can do it.
If these guys are butting up against 200 innings, they're going to pass this up.
Yeah, and so, like, the optimistic part of me is going, yes. And I've had many beers, so that's the part of me that's going to talk. So I'm going to say they crush this over.
I love it. Love to hear it. All right, the last one is a kind of a weird over under. It's an either or, basically. And I'm going to start with Treasy on this one. More starts in a White Sox uniform: Johnny Cueto or Vince Velasquez?
Starts, you're saying?
Starts. Yeah, not innings, just starts.
Velasquez.
Yeah,
I think it's Velasquez, because I think so. I don't know what Johnny Cueto's role is going to be with this team. Like, he's not ready to start right now. So I think
he's got to get ramped up.
Mid to late April, you see him start. At this point, Velasquez has 1-2 starts under his belt by the time that Cueto gets one. Doubleheader games, you're going to see Velasquez, right? They're going to bring up a bullpen arm, and you're going to see Velasquez. This is assuming Velasquez doesn't completely shit the bed.
Right.
But over that time, like, I don't see Cueto catching up to him. And I do see them going, Johnny Cueto is a long reliever when Lance Lynn is back. It'll all
right.
This all depends. It's funny thinking it through right now. This all depends on Dallas Keuchel. If Dallas Keuchel sucks,
he's fine.
If Dallas Keuchel sucks, Johnny Cueto blows Velasquez out of the water. If Dallas Keuchel is decent and holds down his spot, Velasquez is going to start a lot of random games. So I'll go Velasquez, and I already regret it.
How about you? Which one is going to start more games for the Sox?
I'm going to go. I think that's besides his twisted logic. I think Treasy's right. I think Velasquez is probably going to have more starts. And potentially because he becomes fixed. Maybe he gets whispered to, and he just rocks it out. Like, I don't know. But this is, for some reason, it feels right. Now, the only thing I really want, though, is I want Johnny Cueto to come up and play at least half a year with the Sox. I don't care in what role, because that motherfucker definitely wears a 52 or a 54 size jersey, and I need a Cueto jersey to wear to the park. Okay? Yes. I mean, I'm just saying.
That'll be a good jersey. I like that.
Right? I mean, I feel like I could probably get one for like $100 at a garage sale, and nobody else is going to want it because it's too big, and they're like, he's washed up. I think I can take that. Might need Matt Ramsey to help me out with that a little bit, but we'll see. We'll make it happen. But yeah, no, I'm gonna go with my boy Vince for the more starts than Mr. Cueto.
I love it. All right, let's get to the fun stuff now. I'm gonna start with Treasy. Times during the season that the whiskey will get MSS.
Oh my God!
The over/under is 2.5.
Oh. Smash the over.
Yeah.
Does this have to be at a game?
You know, it doesn't have to be at a game. I just meant during the season, like hanging out or whatever. And games included, but it could be anything. Yeah.
I'll make this happen on my own. I'll let it get me just to get him.
Listen, it's already...
The crowd is mostly into it.
Way over.
What do you think?
Yeah, way over. Yeah.
Easy.
Here's what I don't want. I don't want to be blacked out. I don't want to wake up on the beef deck. I don't
I'll
want
wake you up.
to.
Ultimately, he's overexposed.
This is a lot. Like here's what I'm like last year, as we have talked about at length, I was like half blacked out when we were talking to Papa G, Mr. Giolito. And I did not.
You turned to us after it was over and said, "I don't remember anything." It was just I remember that.
Yeah. So I'm a little bit worried, and that was just beer. I mean, heavy alcohol beer, but still. So yeah, smash the over. Probably should take that, but let's just hope for like best results. I don't want to get hit by a car. All right, don't let me die. Don't just be like, yeah.
You have modest goals. You have modest goals. Don't get hit by a car.
Look, I don't.
He's gonna walk with Gabe. He's fine. Don't let that happen. Make sure somebody like Lakeshore Wally. You know, he's a man of responsibility. Make sure he gets me home.
Sure. Oh yeah, sure, no problem. Incredible. All
Unreal.
Right. Next one. I'm gonna start with my suck summer. The amount of times people come to the seats and ask us, "What happened to the goose?" I'll set the over under at 108.5 times.
Now, let me ask: Is like what happened to the goose? Like, is it just something to do with goose, or does it have to be specifically what happened to the goose? Can they come in and say, oh,
MSS,
man,
there was
MSS,
there was a gigantic goose right next to us. Now there is no gigantic goose next to us.
Well,
people will come up and ask, what happened to the goose?
Yeah, where did it go?
That's the question. 800 pound, apparently.
I'm gonna say under.
I only thought it was about 600 pounds, but go ahead.
I'm gonna say I think it's like 8 to 1,000. I'm gonna say under. Because I'm going to write a blog about where it is. Or maybe it shows up at a Sunday soak or something. People will know where it is. So then
at your house only.
Yeah, at your house. You have the room.
Trezo, what do you think?
We're going to go to we usually make it to about 60-something games. People ask us this about 5 times a game. I'm going to go over. I'm going to put it at like about 300.
Damn.
Easily.
Can I points bet this?
Get the extra for the over. Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Put that up on points bet. See if they'll take that bet. I agree. I agree. All right. This next one I'm going to start with Treasy. And the question is Beef Loaf, Sox Math victories in 2022 over under 0.5.
Under.
I predicted we get skunked.
Under.
I'm gonna get no wins, is what you're saying. Yeah. No wins this year.
So here's what I'm predicting. Okay. Beef is that you're gonna go to games all the time, so you're gonna miss all the home games. So you only got away game.
Yep.
I'm predicting a Beef Loaf cuts the cord somewhere in the season, and then you're fucked on the streaming. If you got the streaming, you're fucked. So that's my bold prediction. I'll work to make this happen so that this bet works.
If I did, but I'm not sure I'm gonna. So
I don't think
MSS. What do you think? Over under 0.5.
Definitely not cutting the cord this season. You still have the same cable box like when you signed up for cable. So like
I do.
Definitely
the originals.
You're a creature of habit. You are
dust
not
those off.
Yeah, it's fine. It still works. Like it looks fine. I'm going over. Yeah, 100%. I'm going over. You're gonna at least win one time, if not 2 times. Like you,
that was twice last year. Yeah.
Part of the problem that is like Teresi just worked himself into this is that you're gonna do it to spite him. Like it's not even something that 100%. You want to do anymore.
I don't even care anymore.
More as like a double FU to your brother. Like you can't like challenge you in a public space, a public forum like this, and expect you not to come back. and just like women it. And then I'm gonna see in the group chat like, hey, that's my third Sox Math win there, asshole. You know?
Yeah.
And
now I'm going. Now I'm going.
Now.
I'm going under, and it has nothing to do with your cable. You're just gonna suck.
I thought it was a younger man's game, and then last year I won twice. Mr. Hand won twice. I mean, like, so the old guys pulling in for the old guys, you know. So
old guys that have cable.
The thing is, like, I enjoy winning, but then I also get the grief of like, oh man, I got to do a video, and now I have to do a hot tub video because everyone wants a hot tub video. I can't do any other kind of video. Like, if I got other creative juices, fuck that. I got to go in the hot tub and look like a dickhead. That's the only video I can possibly do. So,
can I make a small request?
Go for it, baby.
When you do that hot tub video, can I just be in the hot tub? Like, I don't even have to say anything. Just put me in there.
You want to come through? Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I'm a lot slimmer now, so like I know I could probably get.
I'll tweak your nipple. We'll see if we get that on there.
I mean, if you want to, you know, or I can just do a whipped cream bikini. Oh, whatever.
I still remember I did not get picked for the best video for that 1 month.
I was shocked.
Chris Kamka reached out, told me he voted for me, but it was overruled. So I respect, respect.
I love it.
Next up, and this one we're going to start with my Sex Summer, and this is Teresa E. appearances on the CHGO podcast during the season after he bodied the shit out of Rick Hahn, and then Rick Hahn made that big trade less than a week later. I'll set the over-under on 0.5 appearances for the rest of the season for Teresa on the CHGO podcast.
I'm going to go with an over. And I think it's something we've been calling for the last 2 years, and the third year it's finally happening. It is the year of Teresa. He might become the correspondent, the 108 correspondent to CHGO. And he's going to come on like to talk some smack, say the things that they want to say, but they can't say. So they're going to use him as the scapegoat to say the things they're thinking but can't be saying.
I like it. Teresa, what do you think? Over under 0.5, your appearances for the rest of the year on the CHGO podcast.
I'm gonna say over because I think they're gonna be doing stuff like every day, and they're gonna be doing pre and post game stuff. I'm more of a pre-game guy. Post game, I'm sleepy.
Little intoxicated, possibly.
I don't think they want to
happens.
I don't think they want to cut to me in the Uber post game for the show. It doesn't seem like a good idea. But yeah, I mean, anytime they ask me to come over there, happy to do it. Assuming I'm not going to be at a game with you fellas, because that's always top priority.
Steven, I'm sorry. CHGO is not going to poach Teresa. They can't afford him, okay? His 108 salary is far too big, all right? They're not going to come through here, okay?
I'm well poached in the hot tub. Well, wait, different poaching. Never mind.
Absolutely. All right, next up, and this is the final one of our fun ones, and we'll start my Sex Summer. New local celebrity appearances down in the 108. And I'm going to go with an over-under of 1.5. 1.5.
And
new. It's got to be someone who hasn't popped into the 108.
Okay.
Local celebrity appearances.
Can I ask a question there?
Yeah,
I was going to ask the same one.
Can they have visited us, but have not come into the 108? Because there's a distinction there.
So Steven Nelson doesn't count. He met us at a game, so that does not count, even though he didn't physically get down into the 108. So it's got to be someone who's not met us at a game. Not
Papa G out too.
Yeah, they would leave Papa G out, but someone like Jonathan Hood. If Jonathan Hood popped into the 108 and hung out, that would be someone new. Even though we did see him at one of our remotes, that doesn't count. It's in the stadium type thing.
What about Lawrence Holmes, who sat in the Goose Island but refused to even kind of look at us in the 108? Like, if he comes and sits with us, like, he's good, right? Like, that's a new guy. That's a 1. Right? No,
I don't know. He talked to Teresa when he was there, so he's out. He's already.
He never physically entered the section. Okay, all right. I'm trying to get.
Well, the concourse counts. Like, all that shit counts.
The concourse counts.
Yes, we saw Steven Nelson on the concourse.
Okay,
that's what Teresa just asked.
Yes,
I know, but you said he's out, so I didn't know if that meant like
doesn't count.
Okay,
so he's already. We've already met them. We've already met these people. Someone new.
Would a Cy Sox mic count?
No.
Garfine's been there, Luke. There's a picture of me holding a gun to his back while he's holding up our sweater.
I was gonna say there's an old picture of Garfine with us.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm going over. Okay. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what we're going to do to attract these people. But I think what about a Mully and Hanley? Because they haven't come through.
They haven't been over, so that would count.
Get them. Parkins has been there though, but we weren't there.
We weren't there.
They got to hang with the original OGs of the one.
Yeah, of course.
Mr. Hand and Wally.
You're thinking too deeply about this. Either a bunch of people are going to come over or they're not.
Over.
Over. Okay.
Beef.
Yeah.
I'm gonna name them for you.
I like it. I like this approach. Go for it. Go for it.
Because there's a guy who's making the rounds because he just put out a comedy special, and I think he's going to show up in the 108. Pat Tomasulo in the 108.
You predict. Yep.
And then there's a guy who's probably going to want to sell more shit to My Suck Summer. Mike North will show up in the 108. Just a bunch of random shit from his house. Just a big bag of bullshit from his house. He's going to be like,
I love it.
Hey, My Suck Summer, you want some of these trinkets? He's not even going to stop to say hi to me or you, Beef. He's not even going to know that he's in the fucking 108. He's just going to be like, I'm selling stuff to this guy.
I found a case of my bobbleheads. You want to buy them? I'll autograph them with this thick-ass Sharpie. Yes, please do.
Mike North, yes. Incredible.
Honestly, I could see Mike North showing up. But the Pat Tomasulo thing I feel confident in this. I feel like I've been seeing him on like podcasts and stuff and getting around because he got the comedy special out. So, like, why not show up in the 108 and press the flesh with the real OGs and have some drinks?
Yeah, I could totally see it. I could totally see that as well.
All right, fellas, we're coming to the end here. So I want to do some thank yous. My Sock Summer, who you got to thank, my friend?
Listen, I'm going to thank the good people at Kirkland for bringing me some great bourbon. They are working. I wasn't sure about the 100 proof. I'm 100% on now. So, yeah, we're good. Kirkland bourbons.
Beef.
Awesome.
Who are you thinking?
I'm going to thank my cat, Pinkie Pie, who aggressively needs love from me anytime I work from home. Once a day, she'll pop up onto the kitchen table and she'll just want me to pet her, and then she'll rub her face across my computer, and I'm trying to type an email or something. And I'm worried like she's going to click send on some important shit that got to get sent out. So like, I really love that the cat wants affection, but I keep picking her up and putting her on the ground, and then she pops back up onto the table and she's got to get right back in my stuff. So I'm going to thank her. And number two, I'm going to thank my haters who I thrive on. All you people that came at me today and that Italian beef thread, I fucking love it. You give me life. So thank you so much. Keep coming at me if you can.
Coming on.
I wanna thank the good people over at Lucasfilm for not suing us, and I want to thank
not yet
all of you people.
Why?
I want to thank all this shit's already done. I want to thank all you people that bought the Southside shirt. It was great. I'm great. So excited about how well that shirt did. It might actually let My Sock Summer do another shirt for me. Like we'll never see. We'll see what happens. Maybe I could get another design through. The Slayer shirt failed so poorly both times that I was on thin ice with him, especially after the Christmas sweater.
Sweater was a failure. The Slayer shirt was a joint effort.
It was a joint failure. It was a joint failure.
Crew necks are good though, so it's fine.
But yeah, so
you think of a good idea, Dick.
So honestly, but thanks to everybody that bought that. But guys,
108 tourney.
The MLB season started
tomorrow, baby.
Yeah,
it
started today, and the Sox tomorrow.
Sox start tomorrow. We're going to see you guys in the park very soon. I will see you guys before these two will see you guys in the park. But Tuesday, I will be out there. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see all you guys. Come stop by the 108.
Yes,
I'll be there. A bunch of other
beer.
People will be there. I know Aloha Mr. Hand and Wally and all those guys and Matt Namet. So we'll all be up there. No beef, no My Sock Summer to start the season. They're on the IL to start the season, but they'll be back before Moncada's back. So get out there the first weekend. We'll be out there too. We'll be having a lot of drinks. having a lot of fun and watching the team knock the shit out of the ball. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for all the home runs. It's gonna be awesome. We look forward to seeing you guys, and we can't wait for this season to get going. We'll talk to you very soon.